And welcome back here, as we just had a very lovely rendition of the national anthem. And here we see the players line up as we have a moment of prayer.
Thanks a lot for joining us as we continue bringing you cricket from all over Trinidad and Tobago. We are at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy at this point in time for the Southern Sports Finals. It's the first of 3 finals that will take place over the next month or so. And this first one, fortunately, they are coming up against Woodland, is it?
It's Rochard Road from
Rochard
Penal.
Road. Well,
Yes.
I was way off there. Let me say a very good evening to Bahadur Singh, a man who has seen a lot of community cricket, former national youth player as well. And I noticed when I was walking in that the car park was almost filled to capacity.
Yes, indeed. In fact, from the earlier game when they had the 3rd and 4th place playoff, the car park was already filled. And then even now with the finals on the lights, I mean, there's no place for anyone to get room. So we encourage everyone to come on down. And, you know, I'm sure you can still get a park alongside the Brian Lara entrance and come to see this very exciting game of cricket.
Well, as you can see there, the players are lining up. They're meeting some of the officials. The president of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, as Ambassador, is there. And then the guy with the camera is the chairman of the Southern Sports League, Krishna Bidesi. So, Bassarat, of course, recently appointed vice president of Cricket West Indies, so he's lending that sort of importance to this encounter by being here, Keshav.
And it's very good to see his presence here. In fact, I think almost all of the cricket recently, whether it be the zonal level, the youth cricket level, the village cricket level, and even the premiership, he has made an effort to attend and show his presence and support to all cricket in Trinidad and Tobago. So congrats again to him on that recent.
Yeah, hats off to the president, very hardworking guy. And he lives very far from here, and he of course hails from the southeastern part of Trinidad and Tobago, and it's good to see that he's making the time to come and lend support, because this is where some of the cricketers of the future will come from. I'm looking on the right hand side of our screen and I'm seeing a youngster. I don't think he's playing, he's probably the team's mascot. But it's guys like him who are the future of Trinidad and Tobago's cricket.
Yeah, of course. And a lot of these players, in fact, have their kids and their nephews. A lot of young cricketers, either in the stands or on the field supporting us, even to the right of our screen. Not in the camera's view at this point in time, but there are a couple of kids just playing some wind ball and enjoying themselves in this atmosphere. So in this modern era where we know technology is something that, keeps kids inside, it's really good and refreshing to see them outside here enjoying the game with their family and their friends. So we're definitely looking forward to an exciting game. La Fortune won the toss and they elected to bat first. Just to give you an idea of their lineup, Javed Mohammed, captain of La Fortune, Vishal Ganis, Alvin Ram Logan, Jamal Mohammed, Suresh Bal, Aaron Ramkisoon, Peter Grimes, Ronnie Sujatan, Neil Ali, Amit Diosaran, and Ruel Ramdani. So those players would certainly be looking to put a big score on the cards. As we know, this pitch and outfield at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy are amongst the finest in Trinidad and Tobago when it comes to scoring runs, and especially in this T20 version where it's looked to be more attacking and aggressive up front in this stage. Also to take you through the lineup of Rochard Road, we have Azruddin Mohammed, notably the brother of Jason Mohammed, Vashish Ramlakan, their captain, Keegan Jagasa, Randy Seelal, Dwayne Mohammed, Bab Rampasad, James Duncan, Visham Ramrup, Rakesh Jagmohan, Narendra Bihari, and Arvin Bisundath. So those Rochard Road players from Penal would certainly be looking to restrict La Fortune when they go out to bat and ensure that they keep them, I would say, probably under 200, given that the 3rd and place playoff had a score of 197 and was almost chased down successfully.
Yeah, scores around that mark could be difficult to negotiate, especially under the lights here. Although the lights at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, they're pretty good. But you can never tell. Scoreboard pressure is another thing that you have to take into consideration. I think you have the teams there. Kesh, you may just want to go through the teams before the start.
Sure. So we know that from the players just called, Javed Mohammed was in fact a former national and West Indies youth cricketer. Javed represented Trinidad and Tobago from the under 13 to the under 19 level, and in fact captained them at one of those stages, and was also selected for all of the West Indies youth levels. He in fact played football as well for Trinidad and Tobago at the national under 17 level, and represented Naparima College in all of those disciplines. So Javed certainly will be looking to show his ability here, given that he has a very huge and popular reputation for in South Trinidad. And we see here a presentation with one of the bats that they are presenting. A very lovely piece of willow there.
Yeah, it's an SG bat. So a lot of giveaways here before the finals. Of course, this Southern Sports Premier League, and they've always been known to give away a lot of gifts, and they're continuing in that vein at the moment. So La Fortune will be taking the strike as the president of the Trinidad Cricket Board, as Ambassador, just giving some remarks. Let's hear what he has to say.
To this big game this evening, I would also like to congratulate the statement both teams for reaching the final of this tournament. To reach the finals of any tournament is a huge achievement, and I know for both teams to reach, you would have played some exceptional cricketing league. So I want to take the opportunity to wish both teams all the best, and of course, for me to see some good cricket tonight. And I want to wish both teams to play in the true spirit of the game. And at the end of the game, they will be true winners in cricket. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Bassarat.
And some very warm greetings there from President Bassarat, certainly showing his encouragement and support. And here we see Amral Prasad also giving some greetings as we take a look at the pitch there.
It's very green, yeah?
What a lovely surface, I must admit.
If you're a bowler.
Of course. And speaking of bowlers, I must make mention of congratulations to young Liam Mamchan from South being selected to the national under-19 team, as well as his fellow compatriots Fariz Ali. It's definitely great to see these young fast bowlers reach into that national level, and I mean they have certainly performed excellent over the season for both their school as well as their zone. So it's very good to see these surfaces in South and this cricket being encouraged in this part of this country. We see some greetings being brought here as well from members of 103.1 FM, the main title sponsor of the Southern Sports Cricket League, and we can see the very coveted check of $20,000 for the first prize, which is up for grabs here. And I mean that certainly would go a long way to either one of these clubs in their future development, in their youth programs, and to just ensure continuity as they want to play at this high level going forward. I'm sure as we can see the players here, definitely very eager to get on the pitch and waiting for this presentation aspect to be finished very shortly, as I welcome next to me the very esteemed Mr. Vidya Ramphal in the commentary booth. And I must say it's a pleasure of mine and indeed a privilege to be in your company, Vidya.
Thank you very much, and great to be here always at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, and especially here for the this particular final, the Southern Sports T20 final, and this promises to be quite an exciting encounter between La Fortune, and they are coming up against Rochard Road. So $40,000 will be paid out tonight, I'm told. That's quite a tidy sum, and certainly we'd hope to join up with the teams after that. It's going to be an interesting match indeed. And this is a match in which you're not going to see the big stars of the Trinidad and Tobago cricket scene here. These are the stars of their communities who are here, and it's a very important and a very significant tournament in the sense that there's been a vacuum outside of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board tournaments, which have been able to pull a large part of the talent from South and Central Trinidad. There are many other players who have been able to find their way into the setup of national teams through tournaments like this in the past. And I mean, you you've gone a fair distance in cricket yourself. I mean, I'm misrepresenting it, of course. You've gone along and you would know the value of tournaments like these.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, these tournaments are very critical to the community aspect, and the community is where you start the foundation for these cricketers to grow and to reach to that national and then regional and international levels. I mean, even in this tournament so far, we've had the likes of Nicholas Sukhdev, even Evan Lewis played a magnificent innings in one of the games, and to see those players still mix and mingle with the community level, it speaks volumes. I mean, even the car park outside and the fans we can see in the stadium are a testament to how popular and how valuable this cricket is.
It certainly is. I mean, community tournaments like these certainly are the cradle of the next generation of youth players, and certainly the midwife of the next generation of club champions. Certainly these clubs that we're seeing here today, La Fortune and Rochard Road, they're not among the giants of Trinidad and Tobago clubs, but they can rise up to that, because the higher they go, the more cricket they play, the better players they attract, and they can also generate the level, improve the level of cricket in their regions. You could tell that these clubs will go on and perhaps raise to become some of the best in South and Central Trinidad.
Of course, and even from some of the players we can see in the lineup, as we mentioned earlier, the likes of Javed Mohammed, as well as players such as Avan Bisundath, Azruddin Mohammed, the brother of Jason Mohammed notably, and a lot of players with experience in this level, Visham Ramroop, Peter Grimes, who has been scoring a lot of runs for La Fortune recently. He actually came off 84 not out in the last game and 71 previously, so he'll be looking to get a big total on the board here. And I mean, these players are certainly competing at a very high level, even though, as you rightfully said, it may not be the highest level in Trinidad and Tobago cricket. By no means take anything away from the quality of cricket we're going to see on display here very shortly, because everyone is here with a purpose and a passion to play the game.
It certainly is. This is their World Cup finals, isn't it, here in this tournament. It is the Southern Sports Premier League, and just to focus on the league itself, as we see the La Fortune team, they are from the Laromaine area. In fact, it's just straddling. It's a community that straddles between Laromaine and Woodland. Yes, if you've never been in this part of the country, you may not know that there was a community in between Woodland and Laromaine. Yes, it is, and there they are. These are the representatives of that community, La Fortune. And as Keshav has already told you, they've produced some fine cricketers and footballers, especially Javed Mohammed, who is a huge star with Naparima College, and you were at Naparima College when he was there, so you can tell us a little bit more about that.
Of course. In fact, when I entered Naparima College in Form 1, Javed was in or around, I would say, lower to upper 6, and I was privileged enough to see the last few stages of his cricket and football career for Naps, where they won the treble in the football. And I mean, his cricket and prowess was so good that he scored the last 100 in Naps for about 6 years, until about Nicholas Puran came in and scored 100 in the championship level for Naparima College. And
of course he did.
Of course. And even that was magnificent. I mean, he played for one season, and then after that he got selected to the national team, and then his career just spiraled. But to see these players pass through South Trinidad and play cricket at the highest level, and Javed playing football as well, is no easy task. So certainly he will be looking to show some of his younger days as he wants to put on a big performance here for his team.
Sure he does. Now we're seeing the Rochard Road team, and Rochard Road La Fortune have come with their full complement of players, but Rochard Road are in a little bit of a problem here because they have 10 players who are here. The 11th player they're saying may not play, and they have somebody lined up, but he also can only field, so they could possibly be playing with only 10 players.
Yes, it's a very interesting setup. I think one of the players who is not here as yet, we just have to confirm if he's arrived, Avin Bisundat, is one of their main batters. And in fact, the rules require that any of the players who are playing in this final had to be playing in the lead up to the competition. So their 12th man, they indicated to me that he would not be able to bat if he has to play. He can field. So they will be batting with 10 persons alone and one batter short. So I'm sure they'll be hoping for Mr. Bisunda to arrive as soon as possible.
There may be a few beads of sweat rolling down the faces of the management right now as they hope that he gets here in time. And if the budget does allow, they might be sending the helicopter out for him at the moment. So there is the Rochard Road team. Several of these players have played for Powergen at some level, including Azruddin Mohammed, in fact, the brother of Jason Mohammed, and I believe that's him. Third from left of your picture. JD is what you'll see on his t-shirt. That's the man there. And if you get a close-up view of him, yeah, he does look, the silhouette does very much suggest the Mohammed family.
Even from here, just with the hat on, you can't even see the face, but the resemblance is very, very strong.
Yes, it certainly is. He looks a little bit more well-muscled than Jason. There he is. Yeah, you can see it now.
Are they twins, Vidya?
Yeah, they certainly do look like that. But Zaruddin Mohammed, and you can tell this is a family that love cricket, and I'm sure that Dad and Mom would have been admirers of the great Indian player, Mohammed Azharuddin.
Yes, yes,
the former
indeed.
captain, of course. Yeah, so we tend to see a lot of players in the Caribbean named after legends of India. We've had a couple of Imran Khans, one for Trinidad and Tobago, the other for Guyana, won the first edition of the Stanford T20. There was an Imran Khan on that team, the former Cricket West Indies media officer Imran Khan also. So we've seen a few of them. Of course, the original, shall we say, Imran Khan is in a little bit of trouble in Pakistan, arrested as there. And there's Azam Basarat. Well, he's in no trouble at all, is he?
Of course not.
He's been elevated to the vice presidency at the Cricket West Indies level, and great to see him here because it's important for the cricket board to show their support for tournaments like these.
Yes, just earlier Vinod and I were commending him for showing his presence at not only the club level but also the village cricket level, the national zonal level, the national premier competition level, and we both know he has duties in Antigua as well. So with the conclusion of the recent series, the Headley Weeks Trophy, we know that he was across there and he would have been involved in the decision to in fact select the new coaches for the West Indies team, which were released today. We know that Andre Kohli being selected as the test team coach, and also
A-team, don't forget that.
A-team as well, yes. And Darren Sammy selected as the white ball coach for the 50 overs and T20 format. So
I'm sure they were consulted because they didn't just get chosen today, but I'm sure they would have been as part of the interim setup of coaches. They would have been, of course, been part of that. There are some of the youngsters here. They're interested in the cricket, but a different form of cricket because that inclined area just behind them, they've been playing there throughout the afternoon. This might be about the 20th innings they've played so far. They've had their own little private match back there.
Yeah, I think they can get a test match in based on the amount of cricket we've been seeing played there. But, you know, it's really great to see those youngsters out and about and encouraged. I mean, a Friday night, it's easy to stay inside and, you know, look at some television and whatnot. But to have them out here in this atmosphere is really refreshing.
Yes, some officials from the Southern Sports Committee. This tournament has been around for 18 years and formed back in 2005. 24 teams they had at that point. And in terms of the effect this tournament has had on cricket in South and Central Trinidad, they're now up to 82 teams in 3 divisions. So starting off with 20, and it's been maybe not exponential, but it certainly has been a huge increase in the last 18 years or so.
Yes, and it's evident all around South Trinidad. In fact, Being from South myself in the Palmas area, whenever I take a drive around to the Penal area, the Laramie area, Woodland and thereabouts, there's cricket at almost every single ground in which it can be played. I mean, granted, some grounds would be bigger than others, some would be turf wickets, some would be sand wickets, but at no point in time does those factors deter any of those cricketers. You know, they come out Saturday and Sunday, they play 2-day leagues, they play 50 overs, they play T20, and essentially they want to play as much cricket as they can, because from just talking to some of them before the game commenced and the presentation ceremony, they were so eager to get on the field, you know. I mean, they were just rearing to get this opportunity to play in a finals at Brian Lara Cricket Academy. I'm sure they are even imagining that this is a CPL final, a World Cup final for them, as you rightfully said, because it's the premier competition for them to play in, and they certainly would want to do their best.
Two umpires out there at the moment, and the presiding umpire, at least the umpire who is at the wicket at the moment, that's Ramsey Devanarayan Singh. He's going to be operating out there, but a very familiar figure for women's cricket in Trinidad and Tobago. At the other end, Gayatri Sitahal, the former Trinidad and Tobago player, now 32. I'm sure, I don't think Gayatri's going to mention her name, age on air. You never ask a woman her age, but we know this time. Gayatri has played 3 women's ODIs and 1 T20 for the West Indies. Former West Indies player, of course, Gayatri Sitahal, and she is here with us. Made her debut all the way back in 2008. Played against the Netherlands in 2 matches there, and her ODI and T20 matches played in the Netherlands. That series, I think, Stacey Ann King really made her name as a cricketer. Hit some massive sixes there. I think they were calling her Christina Gale after that tournament.
Yes, definitely. I mean, Gayatri Sitahal has been around for a long time. In fact, I recall when I used to play for Crico Prisal, I wouldn't say too long ago, you know, not to give away my age either, but she was playing at the national team at that point in time, and she was really one of those excellent cricketers coming out of the Prisal area. And in fact, she was coaching just earlier across in the nets with the Daranganga Cricket Academy. So to see her switching up from the coaching role and then now to the umpiring role, you know, is really great for all of these cricketers, both past and present, to be involved in the game. And
she's here today, just outside of your picture at the moment, and they're just about getting ready to start here. There is the Rochard Road team just talking over the tactics, getting exactly what they would like to do in this one. Of course, we had a little talk with them earlier today, and they have an interesting attack. They have 4 seamers in there. They include Bibishan Rampasad is one of their seamers. Dave Mohammed is in there. Not the Dave Mohammed, the former Trinidad and West Indies player. This is Dave Mohammed, the seamer. So I'm sure he's been mistaken for him at some point. Dave Mohammed also out there, and Rindra Bihari and James Duncan are the seamers for the team. They have the 2 left-arm spinners, Vashisht Ramlal and Visham Ramrup, as well as the off-spin of Randy Seelal. And you've been talking also to the team, that's the batting team, La Fortune, a little bit about them.
Yeah, so La Fortune, we know that they have a lot of all-rounders in their side. One of their main batters, in fact, is Peter Grimes, who is also an all-rounder himself, but he played at the National 2 level at Barkpore some years ago, and he scored 84 not out as well as 71 in 2 out of 3 games leading up to this final. So I'm sure when he comes out, he'll be looking to repeat that effort. And Javed Mohammed, Jamal Mohammed, certainly no misers with a bat. They also have Ahmed Josaran, Suresh Bal, and Ronnie Suresh Jatan. So they'll be looking for these guys to be putting in their best performance today. And sure, I think based on what we've seen before in this tournament and based on the conditions, a good total would be definitely over 150. I think they probably looked at that 180 mark if possible, knowing the fact that, I mean, the ball is running across this carpet so seamlessly.
Yeah, it certainly is. In fact, I was looking at the scores from the 3rd place playoff, and Settlement all-rounders, they got 196 in their match, and Tariq Abdul got 129 not out. And I'm sure you're going to say, well, Settlement all-rounders went on. They're the openers heading out there, Javed Mohammed among them. You would think that Settlement all-rounders would have won the game. They actually lost the game because Spoilers came up to score 198 and win the match. That was an amazing display of batting here.
Yeah, it was really exciting. I mean, coming down to the end, we saw some sixes that was so huge. Some of them, in fact, reached to the upper tiers of the stands. And, you know, up in the commentary booth, we had to be preparing to dodge some of those. As we hear some lovely music in the background, just giving you that bit of an IPL feel here as the batters walk out onto the pitch.
Yeah, Javed is going to face up to the first ball, former Naparima College player, as we mentioned. And you can see on the back of his T-shirt, very interesting, his number is not 5. It's actually 25 because it's 5 squared. So obviously there's a mathematical tie-in somewhere there. He's a man of few words, didn't give us the explanation. But we did try to get an idea of why is it 5 squared.
Yeah, of course. When I asked him whether it was 552 and there was an error, he just smiled. When I asked him if it's 5 squared, he just smiled. So I'm sure right now out there, there's no smiles as he faces up his first ball.
Rampasad, first one that's flicked away for 4. Down the leg side, a badly line delivery here from Rampasad, and that's a good start for the La Fortune team, a boundary of the first ball.
Lovely shot from Javed Mohammed as we take a look at the replay there. That one lining down the legs and with a new ball. Look at how quickly it sped away to the boundary. You know, it's definitely a sin. I mean, he has a slip in place, so I'm sure he'll be looking to get in that awesome area and just try to move the ball away from Javed Mohammed. We see he's out there without a helmet, which shows his confidence. You know, he definitely is not afraid of anything that this opening attack has in store for him.
Bibishan Rampasad, just a correction on the first name of the bowler. Then flicks it down, but that's going to be about to say it's going to be 1, but it is a couple because they decided to go for 2 more and they get 3. That's a naughty bit of fielding out at fine leg. It was a one that was trickling towards him and really should have stopped that one.
Yeah, misfields this early in the game can certainly pay a price when it comes later down in the innings. But I'm sure they'll want to just shrug that off their shoulders and try to improve on these first 2 deliveries. 7 runs already scored, and that run rate, I mean, I know it's just 2 balls, but it certainly can be alarming if it continues in this fashion.
Sujatan is the other batsman out there, and he, like Mohammed, is right-handed. So there is a man out on the deep cover boundary. There's one slip in place. We saw a rather unusual situation in the third place playoff where both teams actually were playing short. One was playing with 8 players, one was playing with 9. The team that was playing with 9 actually had a slip for the majority of the game, which I thought was very puzzling because you're short in the outfield.
It was a very unusual tactic, I must say. That one is a lovely delivery outside the off stump there. A bit wide still, but thankfully getting some movement away as Javed Mohammed tried to play that one through extra cover, but missing out.
Yeah, the movement seemed to come late here, and let's see if it's actually it started. Yeah, it did start a bit early there to Mohammed, and moving away. Next delivery, also getting some movement here. So Rampasad is getting the ball to swing in the air, and it's leaving Mohammed. Luckily for Mohammed so far, he hasn't really started it on the right length here because he really needs to give it a little bit more air, at least to trouble Mohammed and to entertain that first slip. A bit closer to where he wants it, not much swing that time, and just 1 resulting. So 2 interesting deliveries before that, just curving away from the right-hander, and that will bring an end to the over. At the end of the over, we should be about 10 without loss at the end of the over, and La Fortune have started well here.
Yeah, good start by La Fortune as we saw a quick single being taken there by Mohammed. So definitely showing their intent to keep the run scoring. I mean, after those first couple of deliveries, it would have been easy to just monitor the rest of the balls in the over, see how the pitch is playing. But in this format, take nothing for granted. Dot balls are goal, and singles off dot balls are also goal to the batting team.
So from this end, it's going to be the Rochard Road will have one of their number 7s. I say one of their number 7s because there are 2 of them, Randy Seelal and Dave Mohammed. Now, Dave Mohammed is the seamer in the team, so this is the other number 7. Yes, it's not football, folks, where you can only have 1 number 7. So Randy Seelal, we got a note saying that Randy Seelal was the shorter of the 2 number 7s, so I guess that helps. And then Dave Mohammed. Here's Dave. Short run-up for Dave Mohammed. Nicely played. Not anywhere up to full speed yet, Dave Mohammed, and that certainly was a bit short outside the off stump. But it's early days here, and Javed Mohammed still getting himself into form. Should be a single. And they've started with the mid-on the boundary, which is, well, a little bit unusual here because they have the two fielders outside of the ropes are a deep mid-wicket, or rather deep square leg, and mid-on. Don't often see that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think it's probably a ploy, given that these cricketers might know each other well from the community level, but they are leaving the same field in place for Sujatan. So let's see where this delivery is lined. This one outside the off stump.
Yeah, it's also very interesting that they have two men behind square on the leg side, one at short fine leg and one at a backward square leg. The other fielder is at a forward square leg. Now, a few paces to his right, and he might find himself in some trouble with the umpire, according to that leg theory law. So the umpires, I'm sure, will be looking at that. That one came back in sharply, and from his action, it looks like he's trying to get that ball to just get some cut into the batters, and he certainly did there.
Yeah, it seems to be some nice seam movement, as we see from the release.
Yep.
That ball already started to veer inwards, and then when pitched, cut back quickly into the batsman. So a very nice line and length thus far. That one too short on the leg
short
side.
this time, but just going to get one. Really would have liked to have seen the fine leg fielder attack that a bit more, but very conservative in his approach in getting to it. So La Fortune have started well here, and in terms of their opponents, the Rochard Road team, they haven't quite found their spots just yet in terms of the bowling.
This one is a better line delivery. Nice shot by Mohammed. It played straight to that fielder in the offside region. So a very good over there from Ceylal Compton, and just 2 runs coming off it. And the score after 2 overs is 11 without loss. La Fortune, after a very explosive first over, being restricted there a bit, as we see the president of the cricket board and vice president of Cricket West Indies in our picture, just having a chat with some of the players and some of the members of the cricketing community.
Also, the Tassa drummers are chirping up away to our right, and that is serious discussion going on there. A high-powered meeting, a tete-a-tete, a meeting of minds out there. So it's going to be Prasad to continue. Babishan Prasad, named after one of the great kings of Sri Lanka. If you've read the Ramayana, certainly one of the kings of in the Ramayana who was a bit of a turncoat from what I remember. So it's cut away straight to the fielder. There's not going to be a run. Yeah, he turned from the. If you remember, if you are familiar with Hindu mythology, supported the Red Army after turning away from the forces of Ravan.
Yes, indeed. I remember my younger days playing Ram Leela, where that was very pivotal in the play itself. That's a wild shot outside the off stump. That delivery wasn't the best, to be honest. I mean, short and wide. It just seemed to miss connection with it there, so he'd be ruining that opportunity, Sujatan.
Yeah, Sujatan. Well, he hasn't done much in terms of being a turncoat here, Ramprasad. He has started fairly well. 9 runs in his first over. He has some protection in the deep cover position. There's also some protection for him down at long off, just 1. And so we have Rochard Road starting well here. Certainly not the explosive start that we saw in the last game. All-rounders, 196. I mean, Tariq Abdul, 129. That's Chris Gale-like in terms of what he did in that last game. Cut away, 4. Brilliant shot outside the off stump. Some with an offer for Ramprasad, and that was an exquisite cut shot for 4.
Excellent shot there by Javed Mohammed, showing that he still has what it takes to play at the highest level of cricket, as we see the replay there. That one beautifully cut away and into the gap, because that area of the field is in fact packed with 2 fielders very close to each other. So to find that gap and pace it was some very good placement by Javed Mohammed, and that was sped away to the boundary for 4 runs. So he looks to be in extremely good touch here, as he would want to lead his team to a very good total.
Yeah, this backward point and a very wide, fine third man in place. This one's going down in the region again. And good backing up just behind of the keeper. The keeper wearing the number 23, a famous T-shirt, number made famous, of course, the great Michael Jordan's, who still many regard as the greatest basketball player of all time. And in fact, Keshav is showing me he is also wearing number 23, inspired by Jordan, no doubt.
Of course, and by my birthday as well. Also David Beckham. That one is a better line delivery. Play down to the long off area and they get a single, so it looks like Sujatan is just going to rotate the strike and try to give Javed majority of the deliveries to the face.
Well, bad idea, because he is 4 off 8 deliveries, and after 3 overs, La Fortune are 18 without loss, 7 runs coming in that over, so that's quite tidy so far. The current run rate at 6 per over, and there's umpire Gayatri Sitahal, the former West Indies and Trinidad and Tobago player, now performing the duties as coach and umpire. So great to see that she hasn't left the game. I know she hasn't played for a while, but great to see her still involved in the game at this level.
Of course, it's always good to see that involvement, and especially with the youngsters in the coaching aspect, and then now to the senior aspect with the umpiring at the Southern Sports Final here.
So it's going to be to continue here. Well, actually, it's going to be a bowling change. Randy Seelal has now been brought into the attack. So Randy Seelal just about to start. Is it? No, it's Dave Mohammed, sorry. 2 number 7s. That can be caught on the boundary, and that's an excellent bit of fielding. Great catch on the boundary, and the man sliding across there, that's Azruddin Mohammed, took that very well. May have lost his footing at the end, but the brother of Jason Mohammed, and he has the same Swee celebration.
He made it seem so easy, that one, as we see the replay here. That one drifted into middle stump. Looked like a good shot initially, but just held out to the fielder there as he took a running catch, dived at the right movement, and didn't dive too much to say that he overtimed the ball, but caught it comfortably. And in the end, La Fortune losing their first wicket, with Sujatan going for 4, scored off 9 deliveries. So 18 for the loss of 1 wicket after 3.1 overs.
Well, just a couple of meters more, and that would have gone for 6 runs. So he might be walking off disconsolately, feeling a little bit aggrieved. But that was an excellent catch there by Mohammed, who looks pretty much as athletic as his brother is. And we know about the batting of Jason Mohammed over the years, but certainly he's always been very, very fit, works hard in his fitness, and always trying to tweak his game to get an extra advantage. And his fielding also has been of a high standard over the years.
Of course, and very intelligent cricketers as well, you know, always looking to see where they can do their best in each aspect of the game, trying to improve at each level. And I mean, that catch was just the epitome of ease in terms of how we got that ball executed. And we saw a Mohammed duo there, because Mohammed the bowler, Mohammed also the fielder taking a catch, and we have a Mohammed at the non-striker end.
Yeah,
so
well, we were hoping if he had gotten out, well, that would have been interesting. Mohammed
totally
caught
game
Mohammed,
changer.
bowled Mohammed. Hasn't happened before, but I do remember a situation at a match I did back in 2008. It was Brian Lara's first class 100 in Trinidad, and there was actually Gibran Mohammed was keeping. Dave Mohammed took the wicket, not this Dave Mohammed, but the Dave Mohammed who played for Trinidad. Oh, there was a stifled appeal, turned down, and so Mohammed, the batsman, the Guyana batsman was out. Mohammed caught Mohammed, Gibran Mohammed, bowled Dave Mohammed, and Fazir Mohammed was doing the commentary. So there were a trio of Mohammeds. Are you surprised that there are 50 pages of Mohammeds in the phone book?
Of course not. One of the most common names in Trinidad and Tobago, as Mohammed runs.
Oh, that slashed away. That could go all the way for 6 runs, just inside the ropes, and that's gone for 4. That's an excellent shot. Now, the stroke was on, certainly wide outside the off stump, no protection out there, and he hit it very well. And Grimes picks up a boundary.
Yeah, that one too wide outside the off stump. Foolish length. And dropping just inside the ropes for 4 runs. Could have easily gone for 6. Not an easy shot to play, that one. The extra cover. And Peter Grimes opens his account with a boundary, so he certainly is in the mood for business as well. One of the top batters for La Fortune in the series thus far.
Sujatan actually started very, he's perhaps the batsman in this form of T20 at this level. You still find room for those players who graft just that little bit. there was talk about in the last two World Cups, not the last one last year where West Indies shot out in the qualification round, but before that there was talk about bringing on Ruston Chase as a sort of as the next one straight to the fielder. There was talk about still having that role where you had an insurance man, so to speak, in between the hitters to hold the innings together.
Yeah, definitely has been a ploy of some of these teams across the world. And I mean, from what we've seen in the advent of modern T20 cricket, those players have to stabilize but also be able to hit the ball coming down to the death overs. So, you know, it's really of a dual role in that sense. And I mean, Ruston Chase, he played that very well for the CPL, but unfortunately didn't manage to do it for the West Indies when he got the chance.
Well, he didn't get much of a chance. In
Correct.
fact, he didn't get too many chances, to be fair to him. This one's hit long, and that's gone for 6 runs. First 6 of the match, and that's landed in the stands. 4 rows up, and there was a gentleman ducking away. And tell you what, there's Rairico Mas. He's with the sponsor of the tournament there, 103 FM. But that was hit brilliantly by Grimes.
What a shot from Peter Grimes there. Playing that one with real ease, I must say. And the manner in which he executed it shows that he's in the mood for a lot of runs here.
Well, Rye's wife may have had a few flutters there. She saw that one flying towards her husband. Edge, and that will run away for 4. No first slip. Short third man is wide, and that is another boundary for Grimes. And after the fall of the wicket, look at that. There was 3 boundaries, 4, a 6, and then another 4. So 14 runs of the last 3 deliveries of this over.
That one a bit fortuitous, getting that outside edge, but it was thick enough and no protection there. I think even if there was a short third man, he would have had a very quick chase to the boundary to stop that one because it was a bit fine.
This is going to be very interesting here because we were talking about the role of Stu Jatton, who just seemed to be that insurance man at the top to kind of hold the innings together. But now that Grimes has come in, the number 3, as we always say, is very much the barometer of the innings. I tell you what, his temperature is reading really hot right now. He's there. Actually, it's Mohammed who seems more pedestrian compared to what he's done so far.
I think now Javed Mohammed will assume the role of that batsman who probably has to play through the innings because he has the capability to mix it up, as in play straight, play stable, and also play the big shots when needed, as we see there. It's a very nice shot played back to the bowler.
So 32 for 1, 4.1 over is gone, and the run rate, which was hovering around 6 all the way through, has shot up to 8, now dropped shortly back down to 7.68. And Javed Mohammed has started well also. As you can tell, he's pretty strong, square up the wicket. Not exactly a lot of width there, but able to work it, but not quite into the gap just yet. And with Grimes there, that certainly may not change his psychology much because he's also quite adept at picking up these boundaries. As I say that, I put the curse on him there. There was one to cut away, but he cut that, didn't get the timing at all.
Yes, he missed out on that one there, getting the bottom edge of the bat and going straight to the keeper. We know that could go many ways in this type of cricket. Bottom edges can go onto your stumps, can even go for 4. And that one got no runs, thankfully, for the fielding team.
Nice shot. There's protection out there in deep cover regions. It's going to be 1. Earlier today, in fact, just a couple hours ago, the Trinidad and Tobago team got their 2nd win in the CG Insurance Women's Super 50 competition. Karishma Ramharak having a very good all-round day. Picked up 3 wickets, and then, with Trinidad and Tobago looking to be sliding away to defeat, she had 23 not out to guide Trinidad and Tobago to a 2-wicket win over the Windward Islands. So congratulations to the ladies. A loss to Barbados in their first game, a 1-wicket win over Jamaica in the second, and now a 2-wicket win over the Windward Islands. They play the Leeward Islands next on Monday.
Some really exciting cricket going on there. Oh, that's
a naughty-looking shot there by Grimes, looking to power that one through the offside. You saw his intentions there. With the man at deep cover, he's trying to get that one over extra cover.
And some good protection on the offside for Rampasad. The fielder remaining at long off and extra cover. Grimes has shown he can play both offside and leg side from the last over.
Oh, he said that straight. The man's coming into the picture. This should be caught. Oh, miscommunication. They've dropped it. 3 men. They were all looking at each other. I think they were hoping that Mohammed would have come in to take the catch, but then he pulled out, and that was it. It looked for all money that was going to be dropped at that point.
My word, video, I must say, I think that is a chance they might rue coming to the end of this game, because you can't give someone like Grimes any opportunities. And it seemed as if he had everything covered. You know, he positioned himself, high hands, and it just dropped away from him at the last moment. I think if Mohammed continued running in, he would have caught that very comfortably, in fact. But again, we don't know the communication levels out there.
Yeah.
With 3 players converging at the same time.
I think he was calling Mohammed in, and Mohammed was telling him, no, you take it, because you look at the orientation of the player's body. He wasn't exactly behind it to absorb the force of the ball coming down. He was sideways on, and whenever you see a player in that sort of position and you're not in a slip, there's a great possibility that's going to be grasped, and it was.
Of course, and when you're running away, it's always a harder catch to take than when you're running into the ball.
It certainly is, and Rampersad now has 3 overs bowled. We had a couple of overs from Dave Mohammed. Now we're going to see a bowling change here. One of the other seamers for the Rochard Road team, and this looks like it's going to be James Duncan to bowl his first over. So James Duncan, familiar name. He's been around, played quite a lot around the cricket in South and Central Trinidad. And here he is, resurfacing here for the Rochard Road team. And let's see what he brings to the party.
We see Javed Mohammed just calling for his helmet there. Probably knows something that we don't in terms of the pace and bounce of Duncan.
Yeah, he knows James Duncan, doesn't he?
You can already see he has a longer run-up than either of the bowlers that has opened thus far. So let's see how he fares as he runs in here.
Yep, he said he does have a bit more pace. Certainly a lot more than Mohammed. Well, that's a wild-looking throw that can't seem to locate the keeper. No overthrows, though. Yeah, so definitely a lot more pace here from James Duncan. And Duncan bowls medium pace, has played in the Premiership 2 for a period here, James Duncan. And saw a couple of... he's played for Defence Force. So that's one of the teams that he has played for in the past. Edge, and there's a 3rd man in place, and there he is, and does the fielding, and gets across to that. So no run added to the total. And that is one of the number 7s, I believe. That's Randy Sealisle. Well, they say he's the shorter of the 2 number 7s. I don't think there's much of a difference.
It's very difficult to tell from up here, but we know that one of the number 7s is also wearing the white hat.
All right, there he is. Well, that's not quite there for the pull shot, and it will bring the man... Actually, it's not 7. That's 17, is it? Down there. Or 37, in fact, Narendra Bihari, who's down there. And so just getting the numbers right. There actually are 2 number 6s and 2 7s. So it's 6s for 7s here literally at the time. Down the leg side, and that's 4. Clearly coming off something. It is a wide. Well, it came off nothing, in fact. It was too wide down the leg side. The keeper couldn't gather it, Jagmohan, and that is another bunch of runs there for the La Fortune team.
That's one of those criminal deliveries, Vidya, when it's so wide that not even a keeper can take it, and guaranteed 4 runs with no protection down that side. So after a very tight start from Duncan, just easing a bit of pressure there, giving away those 5 runs. And I was now going to commend him with his field placing, because this is the first time we've seen a 3rd man on the boundary for any of the bowlers, and at least 2 of the 3 deliveries, apart from the wide, went to that 3rd man region. So it seems like he knows what line and length he wants to bowl and which angles the batsmen are going to play. That one again.
Oh, that's cut away, and the fielder is going to have to chase this one down. He's not going to get there. That's a good boundary there for the batter, Mohammed. And we talked about how strong he's in that area. Just waited on that, saw it coming short, and look at this. More of a guide rather than a full-blooded cut shot.
I think he played that really well, because he was very aware of that 3rd man fielder as well as the deep extra cover. So that one he just guided it in that gap between 2 of them. And the timing was certainly very on point there. So Javed Mohammed going well as this one is played straight to that fielder in a circle, no run.
That's also going to be the end of the over. Well, actually, just one ball to go. There was a wide in the over. So a couple balls still to be bowled here. The scoring rate just hovering about 8 now. That seems to be the new median, new mean for this the Fortune team. Slashed away again. This is another boundary. The fieldsman out at the cover position. Can't get there. And he is just running across their Ramroop to retrieve the ball. That's another fine shot by Javed Mohammed.
Excellent execution there from Mohammed as we see the replay. James again short and wide. That one wasn't even too wide, to be fair to him. It was actually a bit closer to the stumps, but Mohammed, I mean, he has certainly showed his capabilities thus far. You can't pitch anything short on the offside for him. You know, he would either punch it into the gap or he would play that very exquisite square cut and getting 2 boundaries in that over already. So after a tight start there, Duncan, just giving it away after the wide.
Yeah, Duncan, and we're here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in South Trinidad for the Southern Sports Premier League final between La Fortune and Rochard Road. And if the 50 is up, by the way, with that last boundary. So after 6 overs, La Fortune are 50 for 1, 16 runs coming off that last over there from Duncan. And started so well in just the 5 runs. And I think that, if anything, what changed his psychology in that over was the one he pushed down the leg side. He went short after that, trying to use the pitch. There's a fair amount of green on the pitch, but there's also... it's not the fastest of pitches out there. It's certainly not Kensington Oval, and it's great for this form of cricket and great for the batters.
Yeah, certainly not the quickest pitch out there, but a very good one indeed for both sides to try and get wickets or make runs if they have to. And I think these batters, I mean, they have played so much cricket in their lives thus far, they can certainly see out the new ball when it was swinging. I mean, we noted a couple of deliveries passing the outside edge of the bat and deceiving the batsman, but now they seem to be very confident in their stroke play.
So some spin now, left arm orthodox spinners. There are 2 on the Rochard Road team. So a change here. This is Ramroop to bowl his first ball. Oh, that struck him on the pad, and we already see that Ramroop, quickish action and also sliding it on with whippy action, and certainly not, he doesn't come at you very tall, does he? Sort of an angle coming into the batter.
Yeah, no flight on offer there. I think flight would be a mistake against Grimes unless they can hold back the flight and get him to sky one. That one again darted in and played down to that fielder at long on. Just a single for Grimes. But we have seen his intentions thus far, Ramroop.
Yeah, he's, well, Grimes is going to go after him. Ramroop wants to just dart it in, take away the batsman's arms here. But it's going to be an interesting battle. Now let's see how Javed Mohammed, who likes width on offer, and let's see if he can drive it straight here. Oh, that's full. That is very full. He asked for it. And umpire Deodorine Singh says that's not out, maybe going down the leg side.
Yeah, that one seemed to be angling down the leg side. And we haven't seen much leg side shots from Javed Mohammed, apart from the first delivery of the innings where he flicked for 4. You know, so it would be very interesting to see how he fares against this line of attack from Ramroop.
Not a full delivery, but gets behind that one nicely. And with no real spin on offer here, no flight on offer, it's always wise to play bowlers like these, more like medium pacers really. Play in the V as you get your eyes accustomed to what they're doing.
And 4 deliveries thus far, almost Yorker length in fact. And again, that one.
It's a bit wide this time, and just going to be 1 this time. It went so quickly to the other left armer out there. I believe that's Ramlakan who's fielding out on the boundary. Bihari, in fact, it is. 37, Bihari. And that's 1 more to the total.
1.
Yeah, so they're trying to come to terms with this new line of attack here from the bowler Ramroop. But he's done a tidy job, just the 4 singles in the over. 54 for 1 at the end of 7.
And really tight over there from Ramroop, angling all those balls into the stumps of the batsman, not really giving them much room to free their arms. And we saw that he had a very strong field on the leg side as well, with that fielder at long on, as well as a fielder at cow corner, and one at deep mid wicket. So thankfully none of those fielders had to run to the boundary, all of those deliveries just trickling to them for singles. And I'm sure James would want to improve on that first over. I mean, he started very well with 3 deliveries, conceding just singles off them. And after that wide, his line started to stray a bit.
Yeah, and also his length. He also went a different form of attack. And saw a shot of the crowd there. People already have their popcorn. Certainly is a matinee sort of feel here for this one. And all forms of, you can stay home and watch Netflix if you like. But the chance to come and watch your fellow villagers play cricket is just too much to turn down. Netflix can wait for another day. Here's Duncan to continue here. That's a good delivery. That's more of the length and line that he wants to bowl here against the likes of Mohammed. Just starve him from that area that he loves to slash away at those outside the off stump. And I think that's the sort of line he wants to get.
Yeah, Mohammed playing 2 very lovely square cuts in the last over. So Duncan will be mindful of that, not to give him too much on offer, as again that one passes the outside edge of the bat.
Yeah, so he's found the spot here. That's the spot, Javed. Yeah, he's moving it away. That's what he's telling. Yeah, and Javed, who seems to have his Pythagorean calculations correct. He's worked out the angles with that 5 squared on his back. Yep. Another good delivery, and he's picked up 1. That's intelligent cricket there from Mohammed. Realized he's going to come with it again, just angled the bat, picked up the single.
Yes, very smart cricket indeed. And I'm sure he would have no problem allowing Grimes to strike, because Grimes is the sort of batsman that he can play any type of shot. Even if you play a delivery that's, on a good line and length, he can hit it out of the park. So it'd be very interesting to see how Duncan looks to change his line and length against Grimes, or whether he looks to maintain that area right outside the off stump.
Hard length again. And they go for the single. Mohammed might be in some trouble here, but he's quick, still maintaining some of that pace that he had when you would have seen him play at secondary schools cricket. Certainly the outstanding cricketer, footballer of his year, and no slouch with the cricket bat in his hand.
He was one of those talents in secondary schools cricket that, could do everything. Bat, bowl, field, score goals, defend, everything.
Well, he's gone for this one. That's gone high up into the air. The keeper's coming for it and takes the catch. That was a good call. Credit there to Jagmohan, the wicketkeeper, because the man at point was coming in and the keeper said, no, that's my catch. You always want to have the man with the gloves to take those.
Very big wicket there for Rochard Road as Javed Mohammed skied that one up into the air, and the keeper with an excellent catch running forward. Duncan we see there with his arms stretched in celebration, and Mohammed has to go for a well played 27. Captain of the team there, getting him off to a decent start. He would be unhappy with that dismissal, as he was certainly playing very well and seeing out all of the difficult deliveries, but that one just seemed to go after it, and probably a bit slower in pace from Duncan, deceiving him and getting that ball to go aerial. So well played by the skipper Javed Mohammed as he comes off. And the new batsman entering for La Fortune.
Man with number 80 on his back, that's Neil Ali. So Neil Ali is in now. Yes, Neil Ali is the number 80, so he's in right now. And Mohammed, who would have played some football at college level, actually played for Trinidad and Tobago's under 17 and under 20 national teams. And you played for the University of South Florida, scoring 1 goal and adding 18 assists in 80 games, which certainly is great stats for a defender. And great career there before now back home. And great to see him out there playing some cricket also.
Yeah, he was one of those who was certainly destined to go on to greater things, but certain circumstances, didn't allow him to go through to that path. However, very good to see him still playing cricket here back home in his country of Trinidad and Tobago. As we see Neil Ali facing his first delivery.
Left-hander of Neil Ali's always could find himself out. Well, the stumps, luckily for him, did not light up because he was in no man's land. And at the other end, Grimes was having none of it. He was not going to go anywhere. Told him to go back, and look at this. He's caught in no man's land and looking more like a 16-wheeler trying to do a 3-point turn on a one-lane road. Boy, luckily for him, he got back in time.
That could have gone horribly wrong there for Ali on his first delivery. As we see the end of the 8th over there, 56 for the loss of 2 wickets, La Fortune. And a good comeback over there from Duncan after being very expensive in his first one, getting the prize wicket of Javed Mohammed, as we just saw some kids there playing cricket on the side.
Well, I think there's a break in their test match.
I'm now going to say, I wonder what's the score there.
That might be the pavilion, actually, because the cricket, we're looking down now from our position. The cricket is still going on. Those three who were sitting, they might be padded up to bat later on.
Yes.
Here's the first ball of the new over there from Ramrup. And he does slide on to you, maybe Rangana Hirat-like. It looks like an unlikely bowler, just like Rangana Hirat did, but he was certainly very, very dangerous and comes at that angle at you also.
A very tight angle, as you know. Ramrup is also a former national youth player.
Oh, that is another appeal there. He's that one's maybe going down the leg side. Always going to be very difficult for him to get that decision coming round the wicket, unless he can pitch it on middle and get that to straighten up sufficiently. And that seemed to be heading down leg side again.
Yeah. Close delivery, but still heading down leg.
On for the big hit. There's a man out there. Can he take the catch? No, he can't. That's gone all the way over the head of one of the number 6s. And that is another 6 here for Grimes, who's raced up to 32 of 16 deliveries.
What a shot there from Grimes. That one went over the boundary with such ease. I mean, initially we thought the fielder backpedaled and could have probably got a hand hit, but nothing is staying within the boundary rope here from Grimes. That one, lovely 6, just to release some of the tension that Ramrup has put in thus far.
Grimes has gone for this one. That's another 6. Or will it be? Just on the ropes, and it's taken. Just inside the ropes, and Grimes has to go. Grimes is out. That's an excellent catch on the boundary. Huge pressure on that one, but Rampasad does the trick for Rochard Road, taking a great catch on the boundary.
What a catch there, and that one we thought was going over the ropes as well into the stands, but holding out on the boundary line. An excellent catch, using his 2 hands, catching it at the proper level. Oh, really well done there by Nico with a number 10 on his back. And even the fielder next to him was just smiling in disbelief. He was like, wow.
Yeah, well, he was doing more harm than good, because
could have easily shadowed him.
Because you could have seen that Rampasad was actually, as the way he turned his body to take the catch, he was also looking to see where the other fielder was coming. But the end of a good innings here from Grimes, 26 of 16 deliveries. And tell you what, it's 8-62 now for 3. Great start here by La Fortune, but you're getting the feeling that Rochard Road are starting to pull things back now.
Yes, with the introduction of Ramki soon into the wicket now, it's very tough to see how these batters are going to fare. 2 new batters at the crease, and Ramrup bowling very tight on one end, Duncan on the other end, and both of those bowlers getting a wicket each in the last 2 overs. So Ramrup, as we know, is a former national youth player and also played for Powergen for several years. Certainly has the capabilities to keep the side down and to minimize the run scoring.
Grimes, a former Rosilac first team player, one of the many teams that we have seen him at over the years. Yeah, not 2015, got 100 along with Kamesh Yadram in the South Zone competition for Rosilac. Also got his trophy at the TTCB Awards that year. And once you score 100, you get a trophy. I'm sure you have a couple of those at home.
Unfortunately not.
I was trying to build you up.
I appreciate that very much. Yeah.
There's going to be 1 down there. And that's some good work there behind the stumps. Kept it down to 1. 63 for 3 inside the 9th over here. So there will be a break coming up, I believe, at the end of 10 overs. And a good time for the La Fortune teams to try to assess where they are. Nervous start here for Ali. Almost run out of his first delivery. Ramki Soon is just 1. So good work here by Rochard Road. 2 new batsmen at the crease.
Yeah, and these 2 batters would certainly want to keep the run rate ticking, because it's easy to get bogged down, as we saw an explosive start. Now coming down to a very decent effort by the fielding team. Just 7.27 the run rate at this point in time. 63 for the loss of 3. Well, that's a quicker delivery there, pushed through.
Ramrup is the man who is taking the wicket in that over. So the end of a very good over here for Ramrup. Picked up the important wicket of Peter Grimes. And at the end of 9 overs, it is 63 for 3. And some thinking here for the La Fortune team. They have to reassess. Yes, they have a great start, but they've lost 3 wickets here. So there's a chance for them to try to figure out who's going to do the bulwark here at the moment.
Yeah, it would be very interesting to see how they would approach this. Neil Ali thus far playing and missing at a couple, so I'm sure he'll probably be one of those to look to accumulate runs rather than a power hitter or any explosive type of batsman. Ramki Soon just getting a single thus far, so haven't seen much of him to really determine what type of role he's going to play at this point in time.
Well, he is going to be on strike, the taller, well, not by much, taller and slimmer of the two batters out there.
Duncan continues here. It's a good delivery. Just opening the face.
Just going to be one this time, getting it into the gap. And 64 for 3 is the score. And it's a very humid afternoon. I'm sure a lot of water is being consumed by these players out there. It was a very hot day today in Trinidad. If you're not in Trinidad at the moment, yeah, it certainly was another heated day. If you're in the cold somewhere, you would love to be here regardless. That's another good delivery. And already we've seen that Ali is certainly not in the greatest of touch here. And you can tell, I mean, if you've ever played the game and you've never been in touch, felt that good touch, you know, you can see that Ali is certainly not in the best of form at the moment.
Yeah, he seems to be playing and missing at almost all of the deliveries he has faced thus far. Not sure if he's been beaten for pace or if he's just not seen the ball as well.
Well, he saw that one and might get a boundary here. That one's rolling away over the Brian Lara Cricket Academy and it's gone for 4 runs. So just when we thought that he wasn't in the best of form, he says, no, I am seeing the ball like a breadfruit already, and that is 4 runs.
I think he certainly heard us from up here video, because that one, he shaped up different from all of the deliveries before. Seemed to want to hit it before the bowler even released the ball from his arm and getting a nice boundary there to ease some of that pressure. So Ali goes on to 4 from 5 deliveries.
That was Jackie Saw who was chasing that down. He has Dapper on the back of his shirt. Yeah. Outside the off stump certainly does not look quite as accomplished. That ball that he pulled away for 4 was not one you would want to pull at. It was on the stumps. It would have hit the top of the leg stump. Pull that away. But outside the off stump, he hasn't touched a single delivery.
It looks like he has one favorite shot that he wants to execute, and it's that shot to the leg side. You see this one again outside the off stump and passing the edge of the bat.
It's a wild swing at that one there from Ali. It is a big final, and we referenced the fact that this very much is like a World Cup final for these players. And they're out there, and Ali trying to do the best for his team, for his community, and bring some glory to the La Fortune area. That one's pulled away. Similar delivery, similar result also. That's gone for the boundary for 4. And that's another one. Wasn't quite there for the pull shot on the line of the leg stump, but he pulled it away for 4. Extraordinary shot and 2 boundaries here for Ali in the over.
Innovation at its finest, I must say. And I mean, what was Duncan thinking, to be honest? Because the 2 deliveries that were pitched close to the batsman went for 4. Every single delivery that was outside the off stump went past the bat for no run. So I think that was an error on his part there, just angling that one into Ali. I mean, granted, a very unconventional shot, that one playing it from just on or about middle and off and hooking it away to the leg side, but getting the result he desired there in another boundary.
That was going to hit the stumps there. And the thing about Ali is that, well, it's an unusual looking shot. It was a kind of half pull, well, it was a pull shot. Well, it is a pull shot. Not the delivery you would expect to be seeing scuttling away to the boundary through the mid-wicket area, but it is one that he certainly does enjoy.
So just getting some information from members from the La Fortune team. Apparently they refer to Mr. Ali affectionately as Uncle.
Uncle, okay.
You know, they said he's a bit unorthodox in his play, but once he gets going, he can certainly strike the ball a far distance. So.
Well, yeah. Well, they said a bit unorthodox. I think you'd have to take the bit out because he's very unorthodox, but effective so far. 8 of 8 deliveries. He has done his job for the team. So, Uncle Ali. Well, there was a Uncle Ian Ali, if you remember. I don't know if, are you young enough to have seen Ian Ali on TV?
I'm young enough indeed. I can't remember in much detail, but I know the name.
Pulled away, and this is another boundary. And Ali, Uncle, is dealing out a lesson here as he's picked up his 3rd boundary within the space of 4 balls.
What a shot there from Ali. Clipping that one off the legs. And that ball racing away to the boundary. So thus far, all of his shots on the leg side. And that one, a very nice swivel there as he executed the shot all along the ground. So we see a bit of a change in the field.
Yeah, 4 men on the ropes now on the leg side, 1 at mid-off. And here is the next delivery from Ramrup. Going for a big shot here. And loves it in that area, but they've protected that area now. So let's describe that for you. There is a long on in place. There is a deep mid-wicket also. Forward square leg, and this one's gone straight up into the air. He should be caught here, and that's the end of Uncle Ali. He is caught at short third man, and the catch taken here is taken by Makan. Makan, I think, is the man who's come on, and he's taken the catch.
That one's kite in the air by Ali. Unfortunately, any delivery on the off stump seemed to be a bit problematic for him. And that one swinging the blades at it, getting the outside edge, and a comfortable catch taken there by short third man. So brief but exciting innings at times from Ali comes to an end. 12 scored of 11 deliveries, and La Fortune, after 10.4 overs, 77 for the loss of 4 wickets. And we see coming to the wicket here the brother of the skipper, Javed Mohammed, Jamal Mohammed, who's also a very reputable cricketer and footballer from South Trinidad, having played for Presentation College. So I'm sure Jamal is coming out here with a job to do for his team. And going decent in terms of the run rate thus far, 7.2. But I'm sure they would probably want to get up to that 8 mark, ideally 9 if they can, but not lose too many wickets in the process, as we still have some 9 or 8 overs remaining in the innings after this.
We talked about Rochard Road could possibly be batting with 10. They will be batting with 10 in this match, because it appears that Alvin Bisundat, who was named in the starting 11, has not been able to make it in time. So Sean Makan has now come in. That's the man who took the catch there. And Sean Makan is in as a substitute. He will not be able to bat. So Rochard Road, the news is, breaking news here from the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, that they will be playing with 10 batters.
And that's certainly a loss, because Avin is one of their better batters. I mean, batters from the Hill Piece area. You know, he also runs one of the very popular bar establishments in that region. So I'm sure there must be a very good reason for him missing this game tonight. But we'd see how they would fare with those 10 batters as Ram.
Oh, straight forward to that one. This could be close.
And he gets
him. And Javed Mohammed is out first ball. That is, well, the other Mohammed brother, he has gone first ball and forward to it. And there have been a couple of those before. Maybe just getting that one to straighten enough. And Mohammed looks pretty much aggrieved.
As you see the replay here, that one angling into the stumps. Seems to have probably hit him on or wrong off stump, but very far forward, I must say. And he looked at the umpire in disbelief when he raised the finger there.
Well, you can see that reaction tells you he's not happy with it at all. And we did ask him how did he feel that the game would go, and he did tell us that he felt that they don't want it to be a close game. And you can see how much he's invested emotionally into this game. Very disappointed with that decision, but we're not in the ideal position. But the real question is, one, was that going to straighten enough to hit the wicket? The umpire felt that it was.
Yeah, and granted, the umpire would have the best view of the wicket itself. I mean, unfortunately, in this format, we don't have, you know, the luxury of third umpire and reviews and so on for the batsmen or the fielders to get that option. But at this point in time, the umpire's decision is final. So, admittedly, it did look close. I mean, it seemed to hit him just around that off-stump area, but very far forward. So, no telling what would have really happened with the ball there. But unfortunately, Jamal has to go for a first ball duck. And 2 wickets in 2 balls here for Ramrup, so he's on a hat-trick.
Yeah, Ramrup on a hat-trick and a chance for him to take a 4th wicket. He'll be gunning for that hat-trick. He's asking, I'm sure he'll be asking for 3 slips and a gully at the moment, because he wants to make sure and get this hat-trick here. Might say, well, listen, I want a forward short leg in there for the moment. But he's coming left arm over the wicket now. And for the left-handed batsman, there's a short extra cover in place. And there is a slip. So there's protection for him, a chance for him to get a hat-trick in the finals here. Ramroop, can he do so? Vashish Ramroop, left arm orthodox spinner. Here is the hat-trick ball. Oh, outside the off stump. Not a bad delivery, but he's not going to get the hat-trick, but he has done some damage here. 2 wickets in 2 balls at the end of 11 overs. La Fortune are 77 for 5.
Ramroop with a really excellent spell here, Vidya, to bring back the game for Rochard Road. 3 wickets for 16 runs off 3 overs thus far. And I mean, he certainly shows that he was a former national youth player from his capabilities thus far. Really intelligent bowling, and I mean, it's certainly reaped the rewards here.
Yes, he certainly has. 3 for 16. He took some tap in his second over, recovered very well here. Now there's going to be another bowling change for the Rochard Road team. And Rochard Road are going for the other option. That's the other left-arm spinner. This is Ramlakan, correction. Vashish Ramlakan. Ramroop is Visham, just to correct the first name. So left arm orthodox, well, no, actually, let's see here. Is that, oh yeah, there are 2 number 7. So this is 2 number 6s. So this might actually be
Keegan Jagasa, I believe.
Yes, yeah, he is the right-hander. As we mentioned before, just to cover ourselves, there are 2 number 6s out there.
And 2 number 7s as well.
2 number 7s. So there was one, Vashish Ramlakan. But this is clearly the right-hander. Keegan Jagisan is greeted with one that is going to go over the ropes for 6 runs. And that was flicked away brilliantly there by Ramkisu to 9. And that was as easy as you...
Swinging the levers and getting a nice connection. Now he has to be wary because there is protection on the leg side. So has to be hitting those balls. Oh, and he's bowled him!
Yes, he's gone straight through him. And with his 3rd ball, he's taken a wicket.
He's cleaned the off stump here, Vidya. What a celebration.
He's enjoyed that. He certainly has enjoyed that. Hit for 6 the previous ball and now gone straight through him. And that is the ideal riposte here from Keegan Jagesa. And Ramkisoon perhaps getting a bit, yeah, that was a good delivery. That would have beaten a lot of batsmen. That was a lot faster than the previous one and knocked away the off stump.
And there really is nothing better than seeing the stumps rock back and being lit up as we saw with that delivery there. What a ball from Jagasa, and what a comeback after that 6. So again, pressure on the La Fortune team. 83 for the loss of 6 here in the 12th over, and they really want to try and stabilize this innings a bit because they have 8 overs left after this one, and 8 overs in a T20 version certainly are a lot. So they want to get that total up to around 150 ideally. I believe they can compete with, because I'm sure they have a very potent bowling attack as well. So it's just to ensure that they don't lose too many wickets quickly here in a consecutive manner.
So Keegan Jagisa, all of a sudden, he is like a 5-star general out there directing the traffic here for the Rochard Road team, obviously named after the great English footballer Kevin Keegan. I'm not sure if you were old enough to have seen Kevin Keegan, but what a fine footballer he was, the former Newcastle man.
Yes, I didn't get to see him in the playing days, but certainly saw some highlights.
Actually, this might age me a bit for your listeners. I actually saw him when he played for Hamburg in the German league. I saw him on television. That's how old I am. That one's edged, and that will run away close to the boundary here. A big chase on, and he just pulls it back in. Good work there by Ramroop, who's done yeoman service with the ball and now doing the business in the field. But didn't know too much about that one as it turned away from him.
Yeah, another great delivery there. As we see Ramroop chasing a ball to the boundary, noting the name on the back of his jersey, Rock, his nickname.
Yes, a former Power Gen player, of course. And next delivery, this is, yeah, he doesn't have a big run-up here, Jagesa, but a whippy action. He does generate a fair amount of pace. He can be quite deceptive.
Very skiddy off the surface, and I mean, sometimes as we see his nickname, Bullet,
yeah.
It's certainly the type of deliveries he's setting in here, because even between deliveries, he's not giving the batsman much chance to settle. You know, as they knock their bat, he's already ready to deliver.
Yeah, he certainly is. A bullet with the ball in his hands. That's well played, and nice attempt to get that one in there, but past him and picks up 1. So after that 6, he really has turned it on here, and that is the end of a very good 12th over from for the Rochard Road team. 86 for 6 at the end of 12 overs.
Very tight over there from Jagisar. Finished it in a quick manner as well. So keeping that over rate going very smoothly.
And really he has shown why he has the nickname Bullet.
Yes.
In so many ways, because that delivery that defeated Ramkisu, that one certainly, he really did fire that in. And like the projectile he's named after, that one just hit the center of the mark, which was the off stump.
And I think most interesting as well, when he releases the ball, it doesn't seem to be too quick. But once it hits the pitch, certainly skids off. As you see, Ramrup looks like he's going to be finishing his spell in this over, bowling 4 on the trot one time. I mean, why not, given the fact that he's taken key wickets and essentially has been a premier bowler thus far for Rochard Road.
Well, that's a poor delivery down the leg side from Ramrup. Heavy protection on the offside. There was a short third man, there was a backward point, and there was a point fielder in place. So obviously they're asking him, the skipper is asking him to bowl on one side of the wicket, and he immediately speared it down the leg side. But if your figures are 3 for 18, I don't think they'll be too harsh on him unless they lose the game by a long way here. And Ganesh, who is a new batsman in, a Bal at the other end, has just faced one delivery. Ganesh the 3, and he has adopted a more respectful way of dealing with Ramrup. Obviously, they just told him, just play him out. It's just a couple of deliveries to go. Let's just play him out, and we'll try to attack the others out there.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, at this point in time, no sense in giving away a wicket. That one on the stumps. Played nicely into the leg side.
He will get the single here. The keeper, oh, that's good running. Very good running. It barely got out of the 30-meter circle, and the two batters immediately, Ganesh, the instigator there, he called for 2 immediately, and they got 2. Bal also backed up very well.
I've just seen Duncan having a word with the keeper there, probably indicating to him that he could have run in and collected that ball and fired in the throw to prevent them to a single. But the keeper taking the initiative to just sprint away, and the batsman coming back for 2 in the end.
So Vishal Ganesh facing up to the dangerous Ramrup, who's looking for his 4th wicket. And, well, well, he wouldn't have gotten it there, but there almost was a run-up. Ganesh apologizing to Bal at the other end. And Bal, you can see what Bal is telling him. Just play him out. Play him out. That's all we need to do here.
Yes, Bal on strike here, and certainly just playing carefully. That one straight back to the bowler as well. All respect due, and I mean rightfully so, given the way that Ramrup has fared thus far.
Yeah, he certainly has. And Bal back on strike, the left-hander, the 2 lefties out there. And it's all about the single, but there's a lot of protection. That's the line they want him to bowl, and the end of an excellent spell here by Ramrup. 3 for 20 of his 4 overs. And his figures 4 overs, no maidens, 3 for 20. Excellent spell here by Ramrup.
Yeah, really excellent spell. I mean, certainly we have seen him chasing balls all over, stopping the quick singles, and you know, what a performance for his team thus far.
And here is the man at the other end who took a wicket also in his last over, Keegan Jagisar, as I mentioned, named after the former England player Kevin Keegan, who played, just to remind you, for Scunthorpe, Liverpool, Hamburger, transferred to play in Germany. He and Tony Woodcock were 2 of the famous English players in Germany at the time, Southampton, Newcastle United, and Blacktown City. Struck him on the pad here, and Bullet is asking for the dismissal, but it's turned down by umpire Sitahal.
That one looked to hit him just outside the off stump, as we saw Bal shuffling across his stumps. So umpire seemed unmoved at that point in time. As Bullet runs in again.
Oh, that could be caught just wide of the fielder. It just popped up on him, a slower delivery, and that one's certainly not the speed of the projectile they would have expected, and he just got caught in 2 minds.
We didn't really see any change of pace in terms of how he left that delivery, but it could be that it just held up in the pitch a bit, and that one going a bit aerially to the fielder there. Thankfully, not another wicket loss for La Fortune.
I tell you what, I don't want to drop a catch off his bowling. He has a fierce expression, and I think he directed a fair amount of Down the leg side again, but he directed a few verbals there towards Duncan, and Duncan was just left looking sheepishly away.
And granted, it wasn't the easiest opportunity either, so I think his standards are very high, Bullet, in terms of what he expects from the fielders off of his bowling.
Down the leg side, that took the edge and went away for 4. Definitely contact on that, off the glove perhaps, maybe the top of the bat, and that got a contact, and well, keeper Jagmohan just couldn't get across to it. So that's a welcome boundary here for the Fortune.
Yeah, certainly helps the runs flow, as they would like to get over that 100 mark very soon. You know, just one of those mental milestones in this game, as we see the replay, that one swiveling down to the leg side, and no fielder in that region.
So Jagisar, couple deliveries to go in this over. This one's flicked away. There's some protection for him there, but the fielder has some work to do, has to put out that right arm. That's good work. And it is Ramprasad who's out there, the opening bowler, and keeps them down to 2. So that's a good bit of work there by Ramprasad in the outfield.
Yeah, it was nicely played into the gap, as we see a very defensive field set here, with all players on the boundary at all areas of the park. We see long off, long on in place, deep extra cover, deep mid-wicket, and a backward square that's a bit wide, closer to like a hybrid between the fine leg position and this backward square.
Jagisar doing well, fielding off his bowling. I felt they could have pushed for the single there, because he is right-handed. For him to effect the run-out, he'd have had to run around that ball. So I think they really should have gotten the single there, Bal and Ganesh. Should get one here, and easily. That square of the wicket. A lot of protection there, but the fielder not aggressively in. And the batsman getting that single pretty easily. So at the end of the 14 overs, well, that should be the 100 up there for La Fortune. And La Fortune picking up, well, they got some runs there in that over. 9 runs in the over, in fact, for La Fortune. So 6 overs still to go. They've bowled out Ramrup. Jagisar still has a couple of overs. They do have some options here. They're a little bit light as in the batting. They have part-time options in some other options who they haven't used just yet. So will we see more of Dave Mohammed at the back end here? We could also see more of Ramprasad who opened the bowling.
Yeah, and it would be certainly better for these bowlers to come back into the attack with wickets already down, and the fact that they know these batsmen have to go after them, so they can set their fields to suit the restrictions in play and just try to outsmart these batsmen as they look to wrap up this innings.
That's gone. That's a big hit. Fieldsman's coming around. He's not going to get that. That's landed 10 meters or more behind the boundary. The 100 is up for La Fortune, and it comes up off the bat of Bal in spectacular fashion. Welcome to the party, he says. That's smashed away for 6 runs.
Very exquisite shot there by Bal. Nothing better than a straight back 6. And that's when he actually posed with the shot after he played it.
Ramlakhan is the new bowler. That's Vashish Ramlakhan, the left-arm orthodox bowler. And this time, no pretense of turn or spin that time. He just fired that one in.
And just opened the face there for a quick single. So some smart batting by Bal thus far, showing that he can play the aggressive shots as well as get the quick singles to keep the strike going.
Ganesh has to get going here. 4 of 9 deliveries, and Bal 14 of 9. That's more like it. So he picks up the single pretty easily here. So with 16 runs in the 107 runs in the 14th over, with just about 5.3 overs to go. Well, they are looking at something in the region of 150. 160, 170, I think they'd be happier with.
Yeah, I think if even they can get over that 150 mark, just mentally they'll be happy. Because I know that they have the bowling to certainly back it up.
Good bit of fielding there by Ramrup, who is backing up his fellow bowlers in the field. And got across to that one pretty quickly. And very much, you can hear the keeper saying, that's the length we want. And that's pretty much the length that we saw from Ramrup in that successful spell of 3 for 20.
Yes, as we see Dapper on the back of his jersey. As you also know, the West Indies cricketer Kyle Mayers affectionately has his nickname as Dapper as well.
Yeah, another good delivery here. Yeah, Dapper. And 108 for 6 at the end of 15 overs. And this is La Fortune, perhaps maybe a little bit behind where they felt they should have been. They were at 8 and over at one point. Scoring rate has dropped to 7.2. That's not the right sport for this venue, is it? There was some talk about whether there would be football played here, but this is the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Brian Lara, don't forget, would have played football for Trinidad and Tobago at under 10 level, alongside two guys whose names you might remember, Dwight York and Russell Latterby.
And to this day, they are still very good friends. I'm sure they established a bond from that under 10 level till now.
That is,
because
exactly.
they play golf, they hang out together, they keep in touch. You know, it's very good to see those premier athletes from Trinidad and Tobago always showing their unity. And that one is a wide delivery from Bullet. Let's train a bit here.
Yeah, certainly did down the leg side. And
we don't want any stray bullets. We know that's never a nice thing. So he want to keep his line and length sharp as possible.
Yeah, his accuracy just slightly off there. But definitely has Bal and Gunnis in his sights here. Bullet looking to knock them over. Hit the center of the target, perhaps, if you want to put it that way.
Yes, I think he has to be the magic bullet for his team at this point. See if he can wrap up these remaining wickets. So at least keep it tight, build some pressure so that the ball on the other end has an easier task.
Well, and again down the leg side.
Another straight delivery.
Well, it would have been a magic bullet if that had come back from way out there to hit the leg stump. The magic bullet theory was, as you're of course a law in the legal profession, you would remember that. Good delivery again here from Jagisa. They gone for the run. Fielder drops the ball. The magic bullet theory was used very famously in the JFK case by Jim Garrison, as you remember, the attorney out of Louisiana.
Yep. There certainly was a lot of interesting facts in that case.
Yes,
I mean, if we look to go back through them, we'd be here all night. But, you know, it's one of those that, I mean, I think the entire world was looking on and just amazed at how many intricacies were present there.
Yeah, the magic bullet theory, but not so magical right now is Jagisa, but he's done a very good, more than a decent job here for his team. 1 for 19 halfway through the third over. Full toss. Oh, that could go all the way. In fact, he might be caught. Oh, he's dropped it. Oh. Difficult chance. And two batsmen had the wrong end. There could be a run out here. There should have been a run out. I tell you what, Rochard Road would be very disappointed. Yes, the catch was dropped by Rampasad, but after that, you had the unusual situation of two batsmen running down to the same end.
Really a comedy of tales there in that situation. I mean, initially, I thought that catch was going to be taken. I was, in fact, expecting it to be taken given the expert fielding by Nico Rampasad down there and that end. And, I mean, just the way he dived forward for the ball after seeing it been dropped, looking at the middle of the field where
bowler's end, and one was actually trying to get back, the other one was encouraging him to get to the other end, which he did. Oh, dropped it straight at the fielder and straight through his hands. That was Duncan there. Awkward sort of height, just in between the waist and shoulder height, and he put it down.
Certainly was hit with some power. And I mean, that point in time, we saw Buller just walking away, not saving any choice words for Duncan after that drop catch.
Well, I think he would have wanted to fire a few words at him after that, but he didn't do so. He kept his pistol holstered there.
Of course.
That moment.
Keep the safety on at all times, Mr. Bullet.
Yeah, I don't think he has the safety off at any point. He looks to be that fiery kind of character, but you need people like him on the team to keep their teammates on their toes and not let they were in a good situation, but not let them become too complacent out there.
Yes, as they're coming down to a very crucial time in this innings. 4 overs remaining. 114 for the loss of 6 wickets. Run rate just over 7. I think if they can get it up to 8, at least finish on around that 160 mark, they'll have a very competitive total to defend.
24 balls to go here. They're a distance off that 160 mark. This has been a good performance by Rochard Road to pull things back. And these two left-arm orthodox spinners, very, very different, Ramlakan and Ramroop. But Ramlakan has fitted into that groove that was set there by Ramroop very well. And the field is there to back him up. Oh, straight back past the bowler, got a hand on it. But I think he might be examining his right hand to see if all the fingers are there at the moment. That was technically a drop chance.
Yes, a difficult chance at that. I mean, it's either it stick or it doesn't. Those chances hit a bit powerfully back to the bowler.
This could be caught. The fielder's coming in. Is he going to get it? Yes, he gets it. Excellent catch in the outfield. The quality of the fielding here from Rochard Road is to be admired. Had a couple chances that went down, but this time that's going to be the end of Bal. He's gone, caught in the outfield for 16 and the first wicket for Ramlakhan.
Very good catch taken there, as you said. And I mean, apart from the couple drop catches in the field, they have really taken some expert ones. And that one running and making sure that he cushioned it so it didn't drop out at the last minute there. Proper execution from the fielding team.
And that's Makan who's taken his second catch. The first one was a lot easier. That one just slid his body under the line of the ball and did well to hold on to that one. There is Amit Devsaran now coming in, the man with number 88 on his back. So let's see what he can do coming in at number 9.
Ramlakhan seems to be an impact fielder in terms of his substitute coming in for Arvind, who was unable to reach in time.
So 115 for 7. Certainly La Fortune would not have expected to be in this position. They won the toss and decided to bat. They got 27 from Javed Mohammed. Peter Grimes gave them 26. Since then, they have managed to pull things back here. As you would expect, the two left-arm orthodox spinners have done the job for them. First Ramrup and now Ramlakhan. 1 for 10 Ramlakhan's figures, still very much in his second over here. So Devsaran just getting himself organized. Another one of the left-handers here for the La Fortune team.
Nice line delivery there, just playing it forward defensively.
Lovely.
Might be a bit watchful in his first couple of deliveries, Joe Saran.
Yeah, not much of a time here to play himself in because it's happy hour, as they say, in the 17th over. He's gone for that one, and that squirts away across the outfield. When you see shots like that with the angled bat, the ball just sort of curves away, as Cristiano Ronaldo free kick would have done 10 years ago.
When he was in one of the greatest clubs in the world, you mean, in Manchester United?
Was. I see you said was
yes,
at Manchester
yes.
United.
No, of course. I must acknowledge the fact that, the present state isn't the best.
Yeah, they certainly have slid down the ranks a little bit, but Mr. Ten Hag is trying to pull things back. And that is the end here of the 17th over. La Fortune at the end of 17 overs are 116 for 7. That is a great over there from Ramlakhan. Just 3 runs and the wicket coming in that over.
Yes, a good over indeed. As I'd like to just say a special good night to my colleague, Mr. Amral Prasad, one of the executive members of the Southern Sports Premier League. And I know he was very pivotal in the Valiance cricket team as well. Still is. Both a player, manager, coach, everything he does for that cricket team. It's really good to see him out here with the Southern Sports League and lending his influence and experience to all of these cricketers.
Yeah, great to have him up here with us, and wonder which side that he is having, well, which side is he supporting. Oh, he's a neutral in this as a member of the executive committee. Duncan is back on the attack here, so let me not get him in any, Amaral back in any trouble.
Of course.
To suggest a lack of impartiality.
We know the Valiance team is from the Laramie area as well, so could be very close to where La Fortune is located. So I'm sure, some of his heartstrings might be pulling to that direction, but neutral.
Or pulling away from it
Very
because
possible.
they're rivals. This one is powered through the extra cover region. It's just should get 2 here. And they have gone back for the second run. This could have been close. Perhaps a more powerful return. 118 for 7 now. And as you were mentioning, your Manchester United team, their manager, Eric Ten Hag, was saying that they are optimistic because several quality players are interested in their team. Wow.
I would really love to see that come to fruition, I must say, because I think he also described Anthony as quality as well. And we have seen how that has gone this season thus far. So you just have to take everything in stride with Manchester United. Never a dull moment, at least, always exciting.
Chance at a run out at the keeper's end, but I think the fielder slipped, the keeper slipped, and the batsman slipped in pretty easily in the end. Yeah, it certainly has been a terrible time for Manchester United fans. Casemiro has joined from Real Madrid. Christian Eriksen came in. Anthony, as you mentioned, coming in. Lisandro Martinez, the World Cup winner, and Tyrell Malacia has also come in. Netherlands forward. He was heavily linked to Manchester United, eventually went to Liverpool. Yeah.
Also,
Cody
Rafael
Gakpo,
Varane.
yes, Rafael Varane is also there. And here is Duncan to continue. Good delivery. That's just chipped over the infield. Just going to get one. There's a short extra cover and the wide long off in place. And don't forget the Qatari banker, Sheikh Jassim bin Hammam Al Thani. See if you can say that 5 times fast. And Sir Jim Radcliffe of the Ineos Group, both of them have put in bids for the Manchester United team.
Yeah, those bids are actually really coming down to the wire, because every time they think they're going to make a decision, one party tries to outbid the other. As we see Duncan again.
Slashed away, and that's there's a man out there. Good shot, but they couldn't, got away from the fielder, just one. And yeah, I was thinking about putting in a bid myself, but I don't think Manchester United would have been impressed with it.
I don't think you want all of that bad debt either, Vidya. We know that team, I mean, as much as they are popular in terms of their status, finances have not been doing well. As we see Duncan again, beauty.
Good delivery. Good delivery. Maybe a little bit slower. Rolled his fingers over that one. And former Defence Force man, known for his pace. And the scoring rate, by the way, as you've noticed here, has now dropped under 7.
Yeah, I think ideally I wanted them to reach the 8, but if they can just get to around 7 and maintain that, try to reach that at 140 mark at the end of the innings. Runs on the board is always something to work with.
This should be 2. I don't like the running here, because the 2 batters out there, Dave Saran was just ambling up to the other end. Really should have shown a bit more urgency in getting around for 2. That ball barely got up the 30-meter circle.
And there we saw Ganesh actually look a bit disappointed, because I think when he passed Dave Saran, he signaled that he wanted to come back for 2. And when he reached down this end for 1, he just shook his head a bit. And in walking back to Dave Saran there, he was just doing his hands in a sort of motion to say that we need to hustle, we need to get things going, because as you rightfully said, Vidya, at this point in the innings, there's no way that could have only been a single. You have to push for that 2. Just 2 of us left. And it would have really had to been a direct hit from there to get a run out, unless he was really slow.
The ball was just a meter outside of the 30-meter circle, and Dave Saran perhaps wanting to strike. If he doesn't, well, in fact, it is. He perhaps wanted Ganesh to take over the strike as the more accomplished of the 2 batters. Ganesh coming in at 8, Dave Saran at 9. Not much to choose there, but.
And the irony is that Dave Saran 4 from 3, Ganesh 11 from 22. Dave Saran has a better strike rate, so
yeah, he does. And, well, the stumps have lit up here, and that's not because he's been bowled, but there was an attempted stumping. And, yeah, that's pretty some money they've invested into those stumps.
Yes, the majority of the crowd, in fact, thought he was bowled there. Celebrations were already going up prematurely, but no wicket taken. That one
well, that's high up into the air. This 6 runs by Ganesh.
Here, clearly from Dave Saran. And that one was a lovely shot. Comfortably over the boundary ropes. Fielder in place at that point. But no need for him to become involved, as that one sailed clear.
Yeah, that was a pretty good shot there. Ramlakan roughly treated in his 3rd over.
Faster delivery there.
Yeah, he tries to play the Gordon Greenwich shot, and that one goes straight down. Don't think Gordon ever hit it in that direction playing that shot. Picks up 1. Reading something here that the LED stumps cost in the region of $40,000. That is quite a tidy amount. Well, that was a few years ago. This was for actually for the 2020 World Cup. I'm not sure if that's the same brand they're using here. Straight back to the bowler. Spectators catch. There were a few celebrations in the field, but straight into the ground there by Dave Saran.
Yeah, those stumps are really a good investment. I'm sure they'll be hoping that none of these fast bowlers break the stumps, because imagine having to repurchase one of those. That one is so...
well, you don't want bowlers smashing into those a bit too much. Well, he's almost taken out his batting partner there, Besaran, and they pick up one. Arshdeep Singh, in fact, the Indian fast bowler, broke 2 of them in one game the other day in the IPL. End of the over here, and with the last over beckoning, La Fortune are 130 for 7.
Yes, Arshdeep certainly has made a name for himself in the T20, the stumps breaker, and a lot of other nicknames they call him after he has a reputation for damaging the wickets and the timber. As we see a shot of the fans in the stand there, just mixing some drinks, having a nice time out here on a Friday night at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy.
And also, in case you were wondering if Khaleesi has gotten to Westeros, she is there. 130 for 7, last over to go. Yes, that was a Game of Thrones reference.
I didn't see any dragons outside though, Vidya.
They're out on the field.
I wonder. That's what I'm wondering. How did she reach here?
Yeah, they are out on the field. They are the Dragons of the La Fortune team. Very much a La Fortune supporter. So we're going to see, this is another over here.
From Bullet to complete the
Keegan
last over.
Jagisa is going to continue. That's, well, outside the off-stump, there was some wit on offer there for Dave Saran. And he has really kept the batsman quiet by keeping it on the stumps.
Yes, and that one seems to be another strategy that some bowlers use in terms of keeping it just before the wide line. I mean, admittedly, it's something I think is a bit risky because once you stray, it's either wide or it's easy within the arc of the batsman. That one on the stumps.
Slow delivery, and there is going to be one. And Dave Saran again just ambling down to the other end, not interested in the second run, putting no pressure on the fielders. Now, if you're going to go wide, there is a backward point. There's a deep, point in place here for the bowler. Also a deep mid-wicket for the bowler. This one is hit straight, and 1 bounce, 2 bounces to the fielder. Gets there quickly.
Yeah, just a single again. Haven't really seen much boundaries in the last few overs.
Yeah, they certainly have done well here. Great credit to the Rochard Road team to pull this scoring rate back. Edged, and that will go down to the third man region. There's a man out there. There he is coming into your picture, and just a 1 to the total here. Tidy job here in the last over by Jagisa.
Very good field placement there as well, because to have a third man on the boundary in the last over, you might think it's a risk, but I believe Bullet knows the line he's trying to bowl and anticipating those edges.
Oh, that's a good delivery. Oh, that could have been 5 runs there, because that one shaved past the helmet. And they will get 1. Let's see what the call is. It is byes. Sashayed down the wicket there, Ganesh, and didn't get any contact at all.
That looked very close to passing the helmet there, Vidya. I'm sure that the keeper would be relieved because they didn't ask the question.
Yeah, I think the La Fortune fans might be saying that helmet ducked out of the way.
Yes, indeed. As you see the last delivery coming up in the innings, 134. Can they get a 6 to finish to reach to that 140 mark, or even a 4 to reach to 138 and set them 139 to win? Let's see what Josaran does with this last delivery.
On the pad, they will get the leg by, and this has been an excellent comeback here for Rochard Road. They have restricted La Fortune to 135 for 7 in their 20 overs. They were going along at 8 runs and over, and tell you what, this is a brilliant performance from them. They have given themselves a very good chance of going on to win this game. All the same, though, La Fortune will say runs on the board. Runs on the board, 137 for it. Is this a winning total here for the La Fortune team?
Yeah, most definitely, Vidya. I think once you have runs on the board, anything can happen in this game. I mean, as we saw just recently in the T20 Intercal final with the secondary schools, that game, which came down to the last over as well. You know, I believe the teams did not set the totals that they would have liked in the first innings, and then coming down to a very close matchup. So anything can happen in the shorter form of the game, and it will be very interesting to see how La Fortune fares when they come out to bowl against the Rochard Road batting lineup.
So Rochard Road will attempt to chase down 138 for victory. We'll take a break now, but the details of the innings: Javed Mohammed, the top scorer, with 27. Ganesh ending up on 19 not out, and with him Dave Saran on 7 not out. And for La Fortune, the top bowler Ramsarup 3 for 20. Will they be able to chase it down for victory? Join us in just about 8 minutes time for the run chase here as Rochard Road attempt to chase down La Fortune's total of 137 for 7.
Welcome back to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy here for the Southern Sports T20 final between Rochard Road United and La Fortune. Rochard Road from Penal and La Fortune from the Laramine area. So we know that in the first innings, Rochard Road restricted La Fortune to 137 in 20 overs, and Rochard Road would require 138 runs to win from their 20 overs. As we see the opening pair of Rampersad and Jagmohan at the crease, and the opening bowler skipper for La Fortune, Javed Mohammed, with the new ball in hand.
Good delivery to start off here by Mohammed as he starts off his right arm seam bowling. We mentioned the fact that they don't have a full complement, Rochard Road, in batting. So they will be batting with 10 players. Well, the La Fortune team have a full complement in their bowling arsenal. Nicely driven, but straight to the field. A chance at a run out at the non-striker's end. Nervous moments here for Jagmohan, who certainly was the call of the man at the other end.
Yes, and Mohammed keeping a tight line with his first two deliveries. I would love to see how they fare if that one batsman short comes into play at any point in time.
And they certainly will be aware that they are down one batter here, so that is going to be one of the considerations. So they will, I'm sure, try to get the benefit, most runs out of the first 6 overs here in the innings. The scoring for La Fortune was quick at the start, tapered off towards the end. Scoring rate, which is around 8 around the middle overs, started to tail away as the innings progressed.
As you know, Javed Mohammed opening the batting and bowling, scored 27 in that first innings and doing well here with 3 dot balls thus far. Another dot delivery.
Yeah, make that 4 because, as you can hear, the heavy sound off the bat of Rampersad, that one hitting the base of the bat and clunking down towards that extra cover fielder. Mohammed, as you can see there, the 5 squared on his back. Oh, that's hit beautifully through the cover region for 4. There is a deep point in place, but he was miles away from that. If he was in San Fernando, that one was heading towards Barrackpore. Got to the boundary in a flash.
Yeah, that one a bit too much length and width on offer, and played beautifully through that cover region there.
First sign of width there from Javed Mohammed, who had started attacking the stumps, but once there was width on offer, that's Rampersad there. Kept his concentration well to put that one away. Nicely guided, and will pick up 1. There is a third man in place, and that is Ramdani, Ruel Ramdani, down with that 99 on his back. That is the end of the first over. So Rochard Road, requiring 6.9 and over to win, have picked up 7 off the first over. So far so good for the Rochard Road team.
Yes, they definitely want to keep that run rate close and not losing too many wickets. I mean, with that sort of total to chase, there's really no need for any sort of extensive shots early in the innings. I'm sure they just have to wait for the bad deliveries and capitalize on them once they get that chance. So it's really up to them in terms of batting smart here and playing a very cultured innings.
So there we see the new bowler for the La Fortune team, and this is Alvin Ramlogan. Yeah, he was due to come in, I think, at 10.
And Ramlogan, in fact, has been touted as their trump bowler by many of the La Fortune players. In fact, he has bowled well throughout the entire season for them, picking up 2 wickets for 14 runs off his 4 overs in the last game, and has been a consistent player. Previously played in the National League 1 and League 2 as well. So his left-arm orthodox is one of their main assets, and with him opening the bowling, they would want to strike early and get some key wickets.
Yeah, they also have the talents of Bao to bowl his off-spin. Dearsaran bowls some off-spin. And Ramdani on the other one. Now, difficult for him to get that LBW decision from outside the off stump because, as we said before, you're going to have to pitch that in line and get it to straighten.
And there was some nice drift from that first delivery as we saw that angle there. Let's take a look at the replay.
Again on the pad, this one is a bit closer, and umpire Sita Hal says that's not out, almost a run out at the bowler's end. But yeah, there is a bit of drift because he's getting the ball to turn away. So obviously the ball, a la the Magnus effect, is going to drift into the batsman and then turn away.
And that's when he seemed very confident with the appeal. Batsman coming forward and being struck on the pad. I think if they were looking for the run out, yes, outside the off stump indeed. They could have possibly gotten a run out if they were looking at their chances.
Down the leg side this time, he was overcompensating there, trying to get that one to pitch more in line, but drifting down the leg side that time. And the Rochard Road team, just not familiar with the layout of Rochard Road, you'd have to drive down to Penal, go down to the Penal Rock Road, and then take a left onto Rochard Road. There's a Rochard Douglas Road, as some people would know it, and Clark Rochard, that's the other road in that area. Clark Rochard is a separate club, so not to be mixing up Clark Rochard Club and the Rochard Road Club.
Yes, of course, and I'm sure they would be emulating the performance of Clark Road United, who won that 50-over title over Queen's Park just at the weekend there. Presentation brought to you again by Cricket 360, and that was really a very exciting game video. I mean, I was looking on and listening to your commentary, and I'm sure that innings from Vikash Mohan would certainly be still ringing in the minds of these batters from Penal.
Reverse pull, if you want to put it that way. The switch hit coming out there early, just a one, didn't get all of that. Yeah, it really was a fine innings by Vikash Mohan. One of the great innings in the history of the competition. 165 not out to win the match for Clark Road.
And also getting some key wickets with the ball as well.
Yeah, a couple of wickets and certainly a deserved man of the match performance. Down the leg side, this has not been an impressive start here from Ram Logan. And perhaps those two close LBW decisions could have been the worst thing to happen to him here. He's now decided to change his line of attack. It's not working out. That's more like it. That's close. That's gone. And that is the first wicket, and Ram Logan has struck. Ram Prasad is out for 5.
Right on cue there, Vidya, with that in terms of changing his line and refocusing and trying to get that batsman plumb LBW, which he did on this occasion. Third time's the charm, as they say, and that one definitely straightening and seems to have hit him plumb there. A lot of elation from the bowler and the fielders getting that key breakthrough early, as we see skipper Mohammed having some key discussions with his fielders and encourage them to maintain that intensity there. 8 for 1 after 1.5.
Yeah, so a wicket for the trump man, the trump bowler for this, the La Fortune team, and Ram Logan has come to the party already. 5 deliveries, a couple of wides, wide in there and a leg by, but he has gotten one to straighten enough. And to Ram Prasad, really, he didn't get far forward to it, and once he was struck there, it was always going to be difficult for him to survive that appeal.
Yeah, and having survived 2 appeals in the over from the same batter, I think the bowler showed a bit of guys there in terms of just shifting the angle of his delivery and bowling a bit closer to the stumps. So now he has another left-hander coming in. This is Jagasar,
Keegan
also
Jagasar.
known as Bullet.
Yeah, so Bullet is in here at the moment. And does he have a couple of, what kind of ammunition does he have within his bat here? That's what we're hoping to see.
We'll see if it's either some pellets or whether there are some projectiles that he's going to be launching from his bat.
Well, I'm sure the supporters of the Rochard Road team will be hoping that he's not firing blanks today.
Yes. Ram Logan comes in. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery.
Very good delivery here. And from outside the off stump, just moving away, not enough to beat the bat. So end of a successful over. At the end of it, 1 run scored and the wicket. Excellent start here.
Yes, well done by Ram Logan. Earning the stripes as a trump bowler and proving to everyone in the stadium and all of our viewers why he's known as a trump bowler for La Fortune.
Yeah, and certainly they're enjoying a few snacks. There are a few vendors here, and I saw some fries, and there's some some fries, French fries on display. There's also some fried chicken. Look pretty good.
Certainly.
Unfortunately, they weren't giving out free samples.
Of course, and I'll see if we can speak to my friend here, Mr. Bassad, and see if we can arrange some samples for the booth.
Surprisingly up the heat on him a little bit. From the southern end of the ground. And this is the figure of Jagmohan, who hasn't faced a lot of deliveries, just one so far, the little left-hander. He's fired a massive blow at that one. Let's tell you where the boundary riders are. There's one at third man. There's another deep cover. He was looking to get that one straight back over the bowler's head. Mid-on and mid-off inside of the circle.
We see that ball with some stiff carry through to the keeper there, Vidya. I think noticeably amongst all the fast bowlers thus far in this game, Mohammed certainly has been the quickest.
Another bit of pace there, and really for Jagmohan, he has to try to drive into V at the moment here against Mohammed. He's not getting the ball to seam a lot.
Yeah, that delivery, I think he was probably setting him up here. Might probably try to swing one back in and see if we can rattle those thumbs to get another LBW decision. But good start thus far with those two deliveries, deceiving the batsman just outside his edge.
Yeah, that's a good delivery. He's appealing for a catch at the wicket. There was definitely bat hitting ground, and we heard that on the stump mine. There wasn't the woody sound that we'd hear for an edge.
As we take a look at the replay there, that one passing very close to the bat. Just slow down a bit. But as we can see, no real deviation of the ball, so spot on there with that analysis of the bat hitting the ground.
Yeah, he was aiming at those red shoes at Jagmohan and just missing them. Hard length there this time from Mohammed, and several bowlers in practicing the Yorkers, one of the things they do is they try to put a shoe and try to hit those shoes. So, well, it's hitting the red shoe. Not a bad idea to put a red shoe out there.
Not a bad idea at all, and especially with the pace that Javed is bowling at right now. I think anything he gets in that region would certainly be missing the bat and probably onto the stumps.
Straight through him!
Right on cue!
He's knocked over the middle stump, and after the hard length, going full once again, and Jagmohan was not equal to it, and he has to head back for one.
The perfect setup there from Javed Mohammed. All of the deliveries previously, just swinging a tad away from the batsman outside, and that one moving into him and bowling him, lighting up those stumps as we love to see here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. What a delivery there from Mohammed, and cleaning him up. Jagmohan beaten all ends up as he couldn't score a run in this over of Mohammed thus far.
Let's see, he's using his feet here to Mohammed, and that one, he actually yorked himself there, because if he had stayed in the right position, he would have had a chance to on-drive that one or flick it through the leg side. And he is, if you have to put it one way, he's pulled at a loose string in his own parachute here and has contributed to his demise.
Yeah, of course, I think he in fact yorked himself, as you said, because with the pace that Javed is bowling at, there really is no need to chip up unless you anticipate that he's probably going to bowl a short delivery or something of that sort. But if he just waited on that delivery, he could have easily flicked it on the leg side or played an on-drive. As you see the entrance of Jason Mohammed's younger brother, Azruddin Mohammed, coming to the crease, JD as he's affectionately known.
Yeah, JD is a right-handed, just as his brother. It looks a little bit more well-muscled. I think he's hit the gym a little bit harder. Not that Jason has not. Jason's very, very fit and looking pretty good. I tell you what, saw him in the Bago T20. He was a top run scorer there, and he was looking very ominous. Always working on his game, always trying to improve. Jason Mohammed, let's see what his younger brother has to offer. Of course, named after the great Indian captain Mohammed Azharuddin. Down the leg side, and that took the contact of something, and that has run away for 4 runs. 4 wides. So the runs continue to pile on here, but Rochard Road have not started well.
Yeah, in fact, I think most of the runs have been given away by La Fortune rather than scored freely by Rochard Road. Apart from that expansive cover drive we saw in the first over off of Mohammed, there really has been nothing on offer except those wide deliveries, and that one given 5 easy runs away to the batting team. So Mohammed would appreciate that start there, especially given the tension that Javed built up in this over. So as we see Mohammed into Mohammed.
And Mohammed defends. And the keeper, by the way, is not Mohammed. He is Ganesh. So just want to clarify that. So you won't see Mohammed court Mohammed bowl Mohammed here. At least not for now. 13 for 2 at the end of 13 overs.
So apart from those 5 wides in that over, Mohammed still bowling well, Javed, that is. 2 overs, 1 for 10. And I'm sure we would see the trump bowler returning on this end here.
Yeah, I'm sure we will see him because as we saw with the Rochard Road team, they would have had Ramrup bowl his 4 overs on the trot here. And I'm not sure if they would want to hold Ram Logan back for 1. Here he is, Ram Logan, just directing the traffic, pulling the strings out there. And he has the fielders like marionettes, just pulling them around to get into the right position. In fact, they just exchange positions between the extra cover and the short extra cover. Ram Logan ringing the changes here. Good delivery, good delivery. The last ball of the previous over, we saw that he was extracting a lot of turn.
Yeah, he's certainly bowling really well. I love how he's using a bit of flight as well. And not just hanging it in the air, but it's a bit of quick flight, because we noticed the difference with Ram Logan and Ramrup. Ramrup, who was essentially bowling batters and just angling that ball at a very quick pace into the batters. And Ram Logan here just keeping it back and encourage them to come forward.
Hits that straight back to the bowler. He's dropped it. Dropped it straight into the midriff and almost taking that one. In fact, there may have been a chance at a run out of Mohammed there at the other end, because that did not pass far away from the stumps. This is going to make interesting viewing here.
That was hit back like a rocket. Seems to just have hit his index finger on the left hand, his pinning finger being a left arm orthodox, and he's just ringing it out there.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. That is hurting right now at the moment. That's going to affect his bowling. Would that be a small turning point in the game? Here's Ram Logan. Let's see if he can maintain his line. He does. And just straight down to the man at that short third man position. But at the other end, Mohammed actually was not able to get back. If that ball hit the stumps, Mohammed would have been run out there in the most extraordinary fashion. Jagesa is going downtown here. Gone all the way for 6 runs. I tell you what, his name might be Bullet. That one landed more like a scud there into the area just over the ropes for 6 runs.
Yeah, and that one a bit too straightish and just going into the arc of the batsman, allowing him to swing his hands freely. I think he should probably just try to maintain that line outside the off stump, as he has protection at long off as well as deep extra cover. So just an errant ball there.
Nice shot this time, showing some that in addition to having the arsenal where he can hit the ball long, he also has some nuances to his game.
Yes, a nice deft touch there showed by Bullet.
Yep, that one, he hit that really long 2 balls ago. That one dropped like a cannonball on the other side of the rope. And he's brought Mohammed back on strike. So Ram Logan, he knows that these early batters here for the Rochard Road team, these are the ones you want to get rid of them quickly. Still, his fingers, some problems for him after dropping that catch earlier. Good single, if they can get through with it, and they do. That's good running between these 2 batters, Jagesa and Mohammed, and that will end off the 4th over. At the end of 4, it's 21 for 2.
And that single there just looks so reminiscent of Jason Mohammed, I must say. I mean, after watching him this season in the 4 days, we see our spectators here. We encourage everyone at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, even those who might be differently able, to come out and enjoy the cricket, as we can see from that screenshot. And I know I've actually seen this face around the ground at many a game. So, you know, he's certainly one of the loyal supporters and enjoys his cricket very much.
And it just tells you that this Brian Lara Cricket Academy is able to accommodate differently abled people, because you walk around the venue and there are spaces everywhere that if you are in a wheelchair like the gentleman there, you can access the stadium and you can move around comfortably.
And they actually have very vantage viewing points for the differently able as well, up in all of the stands. So, I mean, you can watch the game in comfort and not have to worry about your access inside the stadium. So very good to see that, as we see Mohammed here regaining a strike. All of his body movements, his entire demeanor just oozes, Jason.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's a big admirer of his older brother, who's done so many great things, gone on to captain the West Indies. Here's Mohammed, and this one is struck away fiercely behind square. This could go to the boundary. The fielder's sliding across, and he can't get it. So that is a lovely shot, square up the wicket there by Mohammed, and he has started to get into stride here.
Lovely shot there. Bit too much wit given at that point in time from Javed. And just flashing the blades at it. Decent attempt on the boundary by Suresh Bar, but unfortunately did not get down in time. So 4 welcome runs there for JD.
The battle of the Mohammeds here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy, and Jason Mohammed would have played alongside the great man, Brian Charles Lara, during his career with Trinidad and Tobago. It's amazing to think that Jason is now in his 30s. Good delivery from Mohammed, striking him. There was a sound, there were 2 sounds there, and I think he got an edge onto that. And I remember just the other day, Jason Mohammed coming into the national team as a teenager and doing so well.
Yeah, he has certainly been a stalwart for Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. And, you know, he showed that he can play all the formats, you know, the 4-day, 50 overs, T20 as well. And even though he might be small in stature, as you saw in the Tobago T10, can certainly hit the ball a long way.
Oh, he's rolled out. Great delivery by Mohammed, and he gets through the defense here. Mohammed has taken down his namesake, and that is 3 down now for Rochard Road.
What an excellent delivery there from Javed Mohammed, again disturbing the stumps, and that seems to be his modus operandi in this innings here. As you take a look at this replay, that one angling into the stumps and beating all ends up for pace there was JD, as you see him hanging his head dejectedly after losing that, and Javed runs away in celebration. So good comeback there after being hit for 4 of the first delivery, getting a dot ball and that prize wicket of JD. As we see the entrance of Vishal Ramrup, also known as the Rock, who is the main bowler for Rochard Road in their innings, getting 3 for 20 in his 4 overs. And it'll be very interesting to see what he has to offer with the bat here. Is it that they are down to the all-rounders already, or is it that he is so capable he's batting high up the order?
Well, I would tell you that given his name, and here's the wicket once again, and another great Yorker, Ambrose-like, or, well, shall we put it more Ravi Rampal-like, in the way that he celebrated also. A great Yorker there. Given that they've sent out a man who has the nickname The Rock, they're trying to lay something of a foundation here.
Of course, the expectations to bring this game back into their grasp. Required run rate still 7.29, so not out of reach entirely. As Mohammed runs in again, that's a good delivery.
And that is another full delivery here from Mohammed, so he's attacking the stumps and reaping the benefits of attacking the stumps here. So Ramrup had a bit of a smile on his face, and we know that he is from the Penal area. I'm not sure if the Rock is a reference to Rock Road, which is where he might be from, Penal Rock Road, or if it has something to do with his demeanor. Down the leg side, it also could mean maybe his favorite wrestler is The Rock.
Very true. And it could also mean that he's probably the rock of this team.
Yeah.
In terms of having to bowl and get the wickets and then now come and bat to try and make all of the runs.
Then he should be the bedrock rather than the rock. But,
of course.
Of course, as we're going in rock references, the great movie from the 1990s, The Rock, starring Nicolas Cage, and the great Sean Connery, one of the great movies, if you've ever seen that one. Another good defensive shot. He's solid as the name on his back right now, Ramrup.
As you know, that famous reference there from Sister Kalanji. Of course, many times we have seen the Rock being used in all kind of aspects, and in this match he would have to be a wall as well as a rock here in terms of not allowing anything to disturb his innings at the crease. That one again just comes forward.
Well, just apologies here for the technical issue at the time, but just to tell you what happened, defensive shot off the last ball of the over, and Rochard Road, they end the over 26 for 3. And Javed, this youngster was out there with Javed earlier. I wonder if maybe a younger brother, son or so, but he's enjoying himself. Certainly, he has a number also out there. It's that number 8, Willie. Is that Willie on his back?
Looks like Willie.
Yeah. He is free at the moment out there and enjoying himself. And he is, yeah, he has number 8 for the La Fortune team. And it might actually be, well, Vishal Ganesh. Actually, this is the Rochard team. No, he has the colors, excuse me, of the La Fortune team. And Ganesh is the one who's wearing 8. So might be his son who wanted to go out there with the captain.
Could very well be.
Young Willie is enjoying himself and enjoying a great amount of freedom there just on the outside of the field. Wonder if he's he might be the young manager of the team.
It's very possible. It's great to see him out there in the middle of the action as we see a change in the bowling here. Just noting those basketball scores. Yeah, the Heat looking to knock out the Knicks. The Knicks forced game 6. The Heat, that's a tight one, 51-50 at the moment. Of course, the Lakers are looking to knock over the defending champions, the Golden State Warriors in the NBA. Here is Baal to continue. And Baal is going to bowl his off-spin round the wicket. And Suresh Baal with figures of 3 for 7 as we see. That's not Baal, by the way. Of course, yes. That's the legendary LeBron James. Yeah, certainly one of the great basketball players of all time. Many still hold that Michael Jordan, who we referenced earlier, is the greatest. But that man has a serious argument in that collection. This one is cut away well, and that's brilliantly done for 4. Given some width there, Jagesa from Baal, and he took it well. Struck that away and is into double figures. And that delivery seems to have just been a quicker delivery, not much flight or anything in terms of turn there. But that one outside the line of the off stump and cut away nicely by Jagesa for 4 runs. So he's very confident with that cut shot, as we have seen. So 26 for 3 at the end of the over. A boundary off the first delivery here from Baal. And he'll have to get his act together here because now he's going to be turning the ball away from Jagesa. And Jagesa, as we've seen already, is very strong square of the wicket. And just looking to tickle that one away. Dangerous shot with the slip in place. And now the slip has been removed. Now, why would you do that? Especially after you just beat the bat. Yeah. So they've gone for a short third man and a man just wide of that. Down the leg side. The keeper does well to stop that. Chance at a run out at the bowler's end. Gets back. Ramrup, where was he going? He went to walkabout, as the Australians say. Yes, and Baal, thankfully that ball didn't pass the keeper because it could easily spread to the boundary there. So you'd want to just focus on his line and length here a bit errant in his first 3 deliveries. Well, that was a good bit of keeping there by Ganesh. Did enough to prevent them from getting away for the single. And Jagesa, you know he wants to width, and you can see from that shot, and this is a very good delivery by Baal, just taking the room away from him here. Yeah, just cramping him a bit there. And Baal certainly capable with the ball, having picked up 3 wickets for 7 in the previous game. He's gone for the big hit here. He gets all of that. That's gone all the way. 6 runs. And Jagesa, dangerous. Such are the margins of bowling against this dangerous customer out of this Rochard Road team. Just slightly overpitched, and he put that away well. Yeah, that one again right into the arc of Jagesa. At least on 2 occasions we have seen deliveries angled into him, with which he has picked up that ball and hit it to the leg side with much ease. So I think the key is to not give him too much width, but also not bowl into him. So the question is, where do you bowl to Jagesa, given that he's confident on his body as well as confident outside of the off stump? Went for that one also. He gets something on it. This could run close to the boundary here again. Has to run around at the fielder. Doesn't collect it cleanly. That's 2 more runs to the total here. And it was bat, according to umpire Gayatri Sitahal. And yeah, he got something on that. An under edge. Certainly no chance of the keeper to take that one. Yeah, thankfully and then go away for 4 runs there. So well done still to keep it in play. This one's flicked away. The fielder's going to have to do some work here to pull this one back. It's just slowing up enough, and he does well. That's brilliant fielding there by Ramdani,
who pulls this one back just inside the ropes.
Excellent feeling indeed. Picking that ball cleanly and a little bit of a tumble as he went close to the boundary line.
So end of 6 overs, 40 for 3 at the end of the over. At the same time, the La Fortune team were 50 for 1. So a big difference here. They did slow down as the innings progressed, but just gives you a comparison of the way things have gone. Rochard Road have lost 3 wickets, but they're still keeping up with the required rate.
And it really shows how cricket is a very funny game, because requiring 98 from 84, it shows that anything can happen here in terms of how this game can go on. As we see a shot of the crowd there, spectators having a nice time, some drinks, some eats.
I tell you what, some sharp haircuts there outside of the red hair. The gentleman just behind her. Wow. He's been to the barbers today. I tell you what, that's not done yesterday or last week. He's done that today.
Yeah, it's coming out in all his glory. Encounter here, the Southern Sports T20 final at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. So we see another bowling change. At that end, Javed Mohammed coming out of the attack, and Amit Saran taking up the attack. You know that Saran is another right-arm off-break bowler. So he'll be bowling to the rock here, Ramroop.
That's good. That's a good line, and he gets the approval of Ganesh, who tells him that is where we want it. There is a short mid-wicket in place here for one that is flicked in the air from Jagisa, who loves the width here. That's down the leg side, and he really pulled that one down. Chance at a run out, but he gets back in. That one slightly different in terms. Yeah, it is a wide, by the way, down the leg side. Came round, put a bit more into that delivery.
Yeah, definitely generated some pace. It looks like as if he was throwing that ball with a lot of intensity. But,
yeah,
I mean, very close.
Yeah, he pushed that one through. 42 for 3 in the 7th over. Something about his action just reminds me of Muralitharan a little bit in the angle of the hands there. But Muralitharan has, of course, famously, his elbow had he was born with that sort of elbow angled. So many felt that he was bowling illegal deliveries. He never was. Cut away. That's going to run close to the boundary. That's more. That is a brilliant shot there off the bat of Ramroop. It was there was some width on offer, and he spanked it behind square for a boundary.
Too short, too wide, and easy pickings for the rock as he sent that ball flying to the boundary ropes there. Only one fielder on that deep offside area. As you note, the long off, the long on, deep extra cover, deep mid wicket. And there's a fielder, third man on the boundary.
The third man is on the boundary. The backward square leg was outside of the circle for a moment, just hovering outside of that 30-meter circle right now. This one's hit powered down the ground. There is a man out there, and he does well. That's Mohammed, the captain, to make the stop. You tend to see a lot of captains keep themselves in the circle, but he's confident enough. They're a well-oiled machine. That's what he's suggesting to them.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure he has capable support from his vice captain as well as all of the senior players in the team. But also Javed is one of the best fielders, so very well putting himself in a hot seat being out on the boundary.
6 runs off the over already, 47 for 3. Rochard Road attempting to chase down 138 for victory and to get the $20,000, the replica check to put on the wall in the clubhouse, and the trophies, of course, to go with it. Here's Dirsaran to continue. 7 runs off his first 4 deliveries here. That took the edge of something. There's a man coming around, and he will make the stop. Ramdani is there, and he makes the stop. It is a wide. There was a noise on something, but I think that was the keeper's gloves.
Yeah, one thing to notice thus far in this bowling effort from La Fortune, many extras have been given away. We didn't really see that many extras from Rochard Road, but thus far, I mean, for spinners to be bowling wides, we didn't really want to encourage that. This one is played nicely with some soft hands. Yeah, he's going to pick up 2 here easily, and that should be the 50 up for Rochard Road with a loss of 3 wickets, and the crowd erupts into applause away to our right as the Rochard Road supporters
see that their team is up to 50. And comparatively, the 50 came up in the 6th over for La Fortune, for Rochard Road coming up in the 7th over.
So difference of 1 over and 2 wickets between the two teams.
Straight to the fielder, but maybe he should have done a little bit better there that time. The La Fortune fielder, Ram Logan, was coming to him and just seemed to get himself into an awkward position. So at the end of the 7th over, it's 51 for 3, and that is an advantageous position here slightly for the Rochard Road team.
Yes, Rochard Road United requiring 87 runs from 78 balls. Equation doesn't seem to be too difficult, but with 3 wickets down, they just have to play some smart cricket here in order to reach the finish line. Ideally, they wouldn't want to lose any more wickets and just wait for the bad deliveries to put them away, look to get the singles, the 1s and 2s in between to keep that scorecard ticking over. On the other hand, La Fortune certainly would want a breakthrough right now, Vidya.
They certainly would. A partnership of 26 already between these two in quick time. Jagisar has 19 of 12 deliveries. He's hit 2 sixes already. If there's any criticism of Jagisar, is that maybe he hasn't picked up the singles quite as readily. But you get the sense that he's headhunting here, Jagisar, looking for to get the big 6s away and to strike those psychological blows. Now, this gives you an idea of how much pressure there is on this La Fortune team. They've now gone back to their big bowler, Ram Logan, to come back into the attack.
Yeah, I think he is the trump bowler, and given the fact that he has picked up a wicket already, you know, he'd certainly want to continue in that vein here. Javed probably keeping back his 1 over for the death once required if it reaches to that.
Ready to bowl his 3rd of the match. In the 8th over, just bowling, he bowled 2 in the power play and now bowling his 3rd just outside of it. And this tells you about the thinking here of this La Fortune team. This partnership is starting to worry them. Bowled him, gone straight through him, and that one passed through the gate, and there was only stumps and a flash of lightning to signal the dismissal. And that is the end of Ramrupi's bowl for 12, and that's why you bring out the big bowler.
Just as we call for it, Vidya, a vital breakthrough at a most crucial time in this innings here. Picking up that 4th wicket, Ram Logan getting his 2nd, and the rock has to go. Certainly this rock has crumbled there with his stumps being shattered as well. And again, nothing like the sight of seeing those stumps light up. Very good delivery from Ram Logan, angled it into the batsman with some pace as well. And we see the entrance of Dapper onto the field. That's the captain for the Rochard Road team, Vashish Ramlakan. And we see the departure here of Ramrup, who bowled really well and played well for his 12 off 10 deliveries and occupying the crease alongside Jagisar. But now the captain comes to the crease to do a job for his team.
Well, Ramrup's chances of affecting this match are over because he is bowled for 12. Another good delivery there by Ram Logan. Quickish delivery coming round the wicket. Really fired that one in. And there was no guile or there was no flight in the ball. Just caught the batsman off guard, and he could only he hit the middle of the middle stump.
Yeah, it's one of those deliveries that drifted in, but drift implies that it went slow. That one certainly wasn't slow at any point.
So Jagisar 19, Ram Lakan is out there right now, and he is facing up to the rampant Ram Logan now. Down the leg side, through the legs of the keeper. Not good work here by Ganesh. He got across to it, but you really have to stop those.
And again, another wide video. I think after each wicket, in fact, there was a wide delivery just to ease the tension. We know when JD came to the crease after Javed Mohammed got a wicket, there were 5 wides the next delivery. And here again, you know, just easing that bit of mental pressure. The batsman now facing his first delivery and able to get out strike, running an extra.
And this is Rochard Road. It hasn't been a disciplined performance from them by any means. 53 for 4. They're in a very good position here. It could have been even better for them. They've given away so many extras already in this innings. He's going for a big hit here. And he was trying to hit that one straight, but if he had gotten that one, yeah, that's the shot you were supposed to play. If he had hit that over extra cover, he may have been in a position to get a boundary. There is a man out at deep extra cover at the moment. Better shot. This could run away for 4. It has enough legs on it. There's no fielder close enough. It's now starting to slow down, and they've only run 2. That is almost criminal. I think we'd have to lay some kind of writ against them for that.
Yes, of course. That ball just slowing up before the boundary ropes there. Much to the liking of the fielding team. And Ram Logan will want to finish this over strongly.
Well, we'll put you on notice to be drafting that writ out towards those 2 batters, because that should have been 3 runs. I think they felt it was going to the boundary.
Yes, indeed.
This one's hit straight. There's a fielder out there. It just should be 1 here. And getting in behind that one well was Ramkisoon, another one of the players we haven't called a lot, but athletic-looking fielder. So Ram Logan has done his job. He's come in, he's taken the wicket, his second of the match. And Rochard Road in all sorts of trouble now at 56 for 4. You feel that another strike here would really put the cat among the pigeons.
Yeah, wickets definitely have been crucial for this innings thus far, and especially missing that extra batsman. Rochard Road, they would not want to lose anymore.
Oh, that was close. That was close. Was there an edge on that? The keeper didn't collect it, and the bowler and the first slip, they look very, very unhappy indeed. Was there an edge on this?
That pass between the batsman and keeper not taking it either, because he also seems shocked as to what took place there.
Well, he may have felt that the stumps ducked out of the way that time. I assure you that can't happen.
A bit of a change in the field here. The long off coming into the circle at mid-off, and we see the fielder on the boundary and the offside just moving slightly.
Another big appeal here, and Sitahal has turned this one down, umpire Sitahal, and she says it is not out. The over has come to an end with back of the arm. I'd love to see that again, but that's going to end off the over. At the end of it, 56 for 4.
I just want to make mention here of the Southern Sports Association. So the Southern Sports continues to grow as an organization promoting cricket throughout Trinidad, especially in the South area. This is the first year for the Cricket Fiesta, having 16 teams registered, and first place 20,000 prize with second place 10,000, as well as a bat for the man of the match. So we know that there's also a Saturday league and a Sunday league with 3 divisions of over 80 registered teams. And all of these efforts have been courtesy the head, Mr. Krishna Videsi. So great effort by Southern Sports here.
Yeah, it certainly is. Southern Sports, an organization, as we mentioned earlier, coming around in the year 2005. That's another good delivery here, 2005. Just imagine how different the world was back then. Some of the things we see as normal today weren't around in 2005. As Tisran pulls out of it there. I can list a few for you. Google, Facebook, TikTok, Netflix did not exist in 2005.
Correct.
Did you know that?
Well, when 2005 was in effect, I was actually now starting attendance at Naparima College.
Oh,
just
my.
to give you an idea of the timeline.
Well, it's the milk on your face, I'm seeing. So it's guided away. They're going to get one here. And that's a good. Oh, he's hit the stumps. That's going to be close. Umpire Sitahal says not out. And there's a show of dissent here, which really we would not hope to see from umpire, from Ram Logan. And let's see, that one's coming in. Ram Logan was the man who threw the ball in. That is very close. He was pretty much, let's see. Now, does that hit the stumps before he grounds the bat? Oh, I think the umpire is saying that before, that perhaps the keeper broke the wicket before the ball hit the stumps.
It's very possible, because apart from that, it looks to be out from the bat being short of the crease.
The bat is short of the crease here, but that will be interesting to see. I think we need to really look at that one again, because the umpire is indicating that the keeper actually broke the stumps before the ball hit, and that's what has negated what could have been a run out there. 57 for 4, it could have been 57 for 5. Is that going to be a turning point in this final? Here's Saran just spearing that in.
It's all happening here. That ball could have easily changed the innings again.
Well, this final has not been short of pulse-raising moments. This should be 2. Well, they've gone for 1. I think they're happy with 1. And fair enough, that was straight to the fielder. But that was certainly close. I'm not sure if I saw the keeper breaking the stumps first, but we'll have to really look at that replay again, perhaps at the end of the over. And certainly a lot of action here in this Southern Sports Premier League final. La Fortune versus Rochard Road. Rochard Road attempting to get 138 to lift the trophy. Trying to play the sweep shot there. Maybe there was a touch on that off the pad. And they will get, well, there was definitely an edge. The umpire does not signal anything. Ramsey Dev Singh. I didn't hear anything on that. I don't know. Your ears are a bit better than mine.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything either. But I'm sure he would have the best version of getting whatever sound took place there. As you see an interesting angle, he's coming through and around to the right-handed batter.
Yeah. Oh, the keeper has missed it. Ganesh, that should have been taken there. That's a good bit of work by the man sliding around Ramdani. And that's another extra, another couple of extras being added to the total. And Ganesh is having a horror time behind the stumps at the moment. And you can see how disappointed in his performance he is.
Yeah, I'm sure, you know, he would want to have an impressive stay at this crease here with the gloves, because with young Willie looking on from the sidelines, wearing that number 8 in the same kit, you know, he'd want to see Ganesh doing the best he can.
Yeah, he's still disappointed. You can see how he's flapping the glove onto his thigh as he gets back. Felt he should have gotten around to that. But Dev Saran is not the easiest bowler to keep to, because he's very quick through the air. And the ball does pop on you. And that one, to be fair to the keeper, was down the leg side. That was very difficult to track down.
Yeah, they certainly made him work with a few wide deliveries and ones going down the leg side that he had to dive for.
Here's the incident again. Now let's see. Does the keeper break the wicket first? Here's the throw coming in. And let's see. Well, we don't. It's not conclusive there. But when you look at it, the bail, one of the bails is flying away. The other one is dropping the other way to suggest that something had contacted it and it's dropping. Because if the bails were hit, they would have all gone in the same direction. So we can only judge from that. There's a couple of runs perhaps here for the batting team, Rochard Road, who need runs in a big way now. The scoring rate, and what they've done well here, the required rate is 7 runs and over. They have kept up with the rate despite losing these 4 wickets.
Yeah, and I mean, it's something that you always have to be mindful of, because it's easy to get bogged down when you're losing wickets and score at 3 or 4. But to keep it up to that 6 or 7 mark is certainly commendable.
Yeah, they have been aided and abetted here, to use another legal term for your benefit, by the bowling team, because they have given up so many extras. Oh, that could be close. That could be close. Not given. Well, the keeper was expecting the wicket to be given here. But let's see what this one is. It's always, again, very difficult to get an LBW decision from this sort of position. Is he hit outside of the off stump? Well, I think he's hit on the back leg.
And he's actually stepped across the stumps video where his right foot was outside the off stump, so he was standing up plumb in line with middle.
However, it's hit him above the pads, and that's where I think the umpire said that would have gone over the top of the leg stump. Ram Logan is still inquiring of umpire Sitahal, and she's telling him, yes, that hit him over the pads, and that is correct. Yeah. She is very correct. That did hit him very high up on the back leg.
Seems to be very upset by not getting that decision in his favor, but has to continue
no,
going.
It's hit him again. This time he's gone. That one was a bit better, and Ram Logan is going to run around this entire Brian Lara Stadium to celebrate. He has his 3rd wicket, and Ramla Khan survived the other appeal. Now he's gone.
Another breakthrough there for Ram Logan, the trump bowler for La Fortune, and that one showing some smart bowling there, just holding back the flight a bit and bowling a bit straighter. Batsman coming forward, but plumb LBW. And the umpire, from the moment the ball struck the pad, she was nodding her head before she raised the finger.
Yeah, he didn't play Ram Logan very well, did Ramla Khan. Survived the last appeal. Yes, it hit him just above the pad. He was way back, pinned on the crease. But he was lucky to survive that. But then after, I don't think that anybody would have. There was no reprieve for him there. He was on death row at that moment.
Yes, of course.
So the required run rate has now started to climb over 7, and Rochard Road United are 63 for 5 in the 10th over here. They will need to regroup at this point.
Yeah, and with Keegan Jagasa on the other end, 20 from 17. I mean, at this point, he has been a spectator for some deliveries because he hasn't really faced much, and he would want to regain some of the strike here just to shield away the new batsman. And they, in turn, would probably be looking to get some singles and give him the strike, as he's the only batsman who has been set thus far and probably faced the most amount of deliveries for Rochard Road in this innings already.
Narendra Bihari is the new batsman, 37 on his back as he gets out there. And in the old days remember the days before Playway, there was a game called Wayway, which this present game Playway was based on. I understand that the number 37 was when the dealers were trying to tell you the police are coming and you need to get out of here. So
these hidden
I don't
signs.
think he's a police officer by any means. Yeah, so that certainly was plumb in front there for the last batsman, Ram Lakan. Bihari now has to do something. He has to turn over the strike and allow the dangerous Jagisar to get some of it. Again off the pad, and they do get the single. That's a good stop down at short fine leg. And this has been, what a spell this is. We've had two really good left-arm spinners, Ramroop 3 for 20, and now Ramlogan 3 for 17.
Yeah, I'm sure Ramlogan would want to keep his figures at 3 for 17. He'll probably add another wicket because he would be eyeing those best figures in this match there compared to the 3 for 20 from Ramroop.
And this wicket is the one I feel that Rochard Road will not want to lose, and this is the wicket that La Fortune want. They know how dangerous this man is. 20 of 17 deliveries, 2 sixes already. The field is spread wide for him. And even he, of attacking intent, has played a defensive shot.
I think he's playing respects here to the bowler, knowing fully well that he has just 2 deliveries remaining. At all points, it is wise to definitely see him out and not play any unnecessary shots here.
So some sensible batting by Jagisar. Well, he's gone after him this time and is only going to get 1. Good bit of fielding on the outfield there by the man coming across. That's Ram Kisu.
The 10th over, and Rochard Road 66 for the loss of 5 wickets. Ram Logan finishing the spell there. 3 overs for 18 runs off his 3 wickets, for 18 runs off his 4 overs.
Well, the Rochard Road supporters might be a bit quiet right now because their team in a fair amount of trouble with 5 down for 65. They still need 73 runs from 60 balls with just 5 wickets remaining. Well, actually 4 wickets because remember, they are batting with 10.
Come on, guys, come on.
Yep, she's texting the story right now. We are in trouble, folks. All sorts of trouble. And I wonder what emoji she's using there to send that message.
Yes.
Let's hope it's not a brown one.
Let's hope not indeed.
Halfway point of the innings here for Rochard Road United. Yeah, just no timing in the shot there by Jagisar. And this is the effect of being off the strike for so long. He's now lost his timing completely here. He was going along at a strike rate of over 200, and now that's closer to 105. Cut away, just going to be 1. And off the strike here is Jagisar. And the wind in the sails now of the La Fortune team, who looked as though they were behind the 8 ball when they got 138. Now their bowling attack has given them new wind in the sails as they have the opposition at 66 for 5. So from the depths of the Sargasso Sea, the La Fortune team are now sailing across the Atlantic. Whoa, I tell you what, he thought he had gotten through him there. They still get 1. And he was playing all the way across the line. Luckily, that coming off the bottom of the bat.
Yeah, that one getting a nice single there. And thankfully, nothing else happened untoward with that delivery. As we see Joe Saran again just continuing to fire in his deliveries, bowling at a decent pace. You know, it can be difficult to get away. And at the same time, if you get the slightest edge or get it through the gap, it can run away for 4. So he has to maintain some consistency here.
Wow, he's gone long here, and that's gone for 6 runs. And that is how dangerous this man is. Jagisar's third 6 of the match, 29 of 22, and he clobbers this one wide of long on for 6.
Yeah, and that one went over the boundary ropes very easily. And he struck that one, went fast as a bullet there, just as his name is. And Keegan Jagisar doing extremely well to keep his team in the game at this point.
So Keegan Bullet Jagisar 1 for 26 when he bowled, and now 29 of 22. If he can lead Rochard Road to victory here, certainly has put his name up as a possible man of the match. And he actually does have the highest score of the game so far, so he is up there. Better delivery. That's the length to keep him quiet. And the line also not quite adept at flicking that ball, because there are opportunities on the leg side to score runs.
Yeah, lots of gaps there. So once he can work the ball into the right area, it's easy to get 1 and even 2, depending on how fast the ball goes to the field, how he runs in.
Yeah, that one, oh, that's a good stop. Nice bit of fielding there by Sujatan, collapsing away to his right to make the stop. If that had gotten past him, there was a good chance that could have gone to the boundary. End of the 11th over. At the end of it, they have moved on Rochard Road United to 75 for 5.
Come on, fellas! Come on, fellas! Come on, guys! Come on, guys!
So Rochard Road United requiring 63 more runs from 54 balls. Again, not an overwhelming rate of 7 runs per over, but the wickets column is where they'll be most concerned, because anything can happen once they lose 1 or 2 wickets again, and that run rate can easily increase, or it can be very difficult for the tail-enders to come and score as freely as they would like.
Now, here's the problem here for the La Fortune team. Mohammed has 1 over to bowl. Ram Logan has bowled out. And so their 2 best bowlers, between them, just 6 balls remaining. And they still have 7 overs outside of that to go here. So this is where it can become very dangerous here. If Jagisar can get his claws into the likes of Ramdani, who's coming on to bowl now, it's going to be a case where La Fortune have played their trump cards early. Will their Jack now be hiding in all the corners at the end of the innings?
Yes, it's very possible, because including Ramdani, their other bowling options are all right-hand media. They have Jamal Mohammed, the brother of Javed, and they also have Peter Grimes, who bowls as well. Apart from that, the 2 right-hand off spinners we have seen already, and the left-hand orthodox of Ram Logan has already been expanded with his 4-over spell.
So they played their high card, and now it's Ramdani to try to hold up things here. Oh, that was, I think, a spectator's catch, but the fielder did enough to slow it down and prevent the batsman from getting 2. That's a good bit of work there in the extra cover position. And just take a look at Ramdani's bowling action again. He's one of those who does the double arm movement.
And that's something I must admit, I tried it a couple times in the nets and I almost threw out my entire shoulder. So it's something that those bowlers have to be comfortable with.
Yeah, it's something that this is how he's played since he's been born. That's not something you can coach. Look at it again here. Down the leg side, flicked away. That's going to be 4. Nobody's going to stop that today or tomorrow. And Bihari has picked up his first boundary. And Ramdani has been greeted here. And another errant delivery down the leg side.
And you can see from the angle of his delivery, from the time the ball leaves his hand, it's already going into the batsman. So I think he has to start much wider outside off stump. And probably what Ram Logan has just given him some advice there about in terms of his line and his length.
Interesting. I mean, if you observe that delivery again, when the arm comes over the first time, it looks like he's bowling back at the arm. But then when it comes back, It's a more orthodox grip. So that's the other side to this particular bowling action. Let's see if that's how he actually bowls or if it is a ploy in which he tries. Actually, that's how he bowls. Yeah, because it starts out as back of the arm and then it comes in a more orthodox fashion.
In fact, it looks like if he can bowl a slower ball or a leg cutter very easily from that first action, and then by the second time around, you know, it just seems to be straying very much on that leg side.
Yeah, maybe starting a little bit wide of the wicket might help him here, but Ram Logan showing all his experience here to talk to the youngster and tell Ram Danny, you'll get it right. You need to do so for your team here. That's better. That's better. That's the hard length that you want. And Bihari just played all around that. So that's where the young man needs to get the ball. Now he does have the short third man, as you can see at the top of your screen. There's a backward point inside the circle. I can't say there's a deep cover because the cover is 3/4 ways to the boundary. Hits across the line. Has he taken the catch? No. Grasped it. Maybe dropping just short of the man who's been giving him all of the advice, Ram Logan. It went to his right hand also.
Some wry smiles there from the fielder and the bowler. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it was still a great fielding effort because once that passed him, I believe that would have run away to the boundary.
Yeah, there is a
huge
deep,
gap.
Yeah, massive gap between the deep mid-wicket and the long on. Oh, that's better. Just outside, well, outside the off stump. And that one maybe coming back in with the arm. Ooh. There was the chance, and did that drop short? I think he got his hands to it.
Yeah, I think so as well.
But it was to his right hand. That's the problem. He couldn't wrap that left hand around it, and it went to ground. Hit straight to the field and down again.
I mean, what luck is he having right now? Look at that one. Definitely more straightforward there for Grimes. I think he had a good height, a good angle and everything to catch that ball, but probably just hit his wrist and bumped out or something.
Yeah.
As you know, the end of the 12th over there, 81 for 5 after 12 Rochard Road, requiring 57 from 58 balls.
Required rate now starting to creep away just a little bit, 7.12. Certainly not out of control at the moment here, as some water and perhaps a message there for Jagisar, who's getting ready to face up. So Bihari has suffered the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune in the last over, but he's still there.
That's the most important thing, I'm sure. Once he's still there and keeping company with Keegan Bullet Jagisar, who's going very steadily on 31 from 25. At this point, he's proving that you don't really need to play a fully explosive innings in terms of the strike rate, given the runs that are required. But he's ensuring that he stays there for his team, and hopefully he can carry them through till the end.
Third man is coming into the circle at the moment. There is a backward point that's heading back to the boundary. There's a deep cover, long on, long off, and a deep mid-wicket in place here for the dangerous Jagisar. 31 of 25 deliveries, and it is going to be at the other end. Is this no? There's a bowling change. James Saran is off the attack here, and this is Bal who's come back on the attack. Just cramping him for room here. That's good bowling from Bal. He knows where the Jagisar wants to go. He wants to go long. He wants to go over the leg side.
It definitely has to try and keep it tight there. Once you give Jagisar any room outside or for anything on his body that's flighted, he will.
Oh, that's 4. And that's width down the leg side, and he swept that away for 4. A great shot by Jagisar, and he is continuing to keep his team in this match.
And that one poorly lined for sure on the side of the leg side. A very exquisite shot, I must say. He played it smartly as well, knowing that the fielder at the short fine leg region was in the circle. So he angled it just enough to run away to the boundary with the fielder not having any chance to stop that one.
Well, Sujatan has now been sent back from inside of the circle to back to the fine leg boundary, almost like a long leg in place. He's very, very wide here. So there is some protection on the leg side. And this one is through the cover region. They will get 1. And there's a misfield and they get 2. That's very poor here from La Fortune. And things were looking pretty good for them. And now with Jagisar there, there's always a chance.
You definitely can't drop the ball at this stage of the innings. I mean, both literally and figuratively as well, because they just dropped 2 catches in that last over and that misfield. They have to keep their pressure on as ball comes in again.
Nice touch there from Jagisar, who's showing the other side of his game. More of a finesse shot that time. A late cut almost as late as yesterday and picking up 1. 87 now for 5. Where is this game going?
Really can't tell, because Bihari is there 5 from 8. And, you know, he's doing well to give Jagisar a strike. I think if La Fortune can try to let Bihari soak up some deliveries and not give Jagisar as much strike as he would like, they can pull back in the reins.
Well, he's going to get 1, and he's done all the right, sounded all the right notes here so far. Has Bihari, 6 of 9 deliveries, and he's picking up the singles, and he's allowed Jagisar. And this was the problem earlier when Mohammed, Ramrup, and Ramlakan were batting. They didn't get Jagisar on strike an awful lot.
Yes, and Jagisar certainly, since he has regained the strike, sure that he can score easily.
Well, this one is heading out towards the boundary. There's a fieldsman sliding across, and that's good work by Desaran. But instead of rising and throwing the ball, he throws it from a prone position and allows the batters to get 2 more. End of the over. At the end of 13, Rochard Road, 90 for 5. They need 48 of 42 balls. So here is the equation. Rochard Road United 48 of 42. At the same time, La Fortune, after 13 overs, were 92 for 6. 92 for 6, 90 for 5. This is still a very close one.
Too close to call right now, because anything can happen once Jagisar is still there at the wicket. I think if they get the key wicket of Jagisar, then they might have the upper hand, because we really don't know what the tail has in store. And also, new batters coming to the crease, having to score a run a ball is never an easy task.
Yeah, it certainly is, and Bihari has been quite adept at that. The La Fortune manager, Bihari Rampasad, heading out there to perhaps take some water. Well, he went to take out some water, but perhaps to bring some tactics also, add to the tactical discussion. It's very easy when you're out there in the heat of the moment to lose focus slightly. Of course, you want to be thinking on your feet, but the management coming in and just injecting a few ideas into that internal mental conversation does help.
Yeah, the mental aspect of the game and the psychological factors are also very crucial in cricket. As we see Ramdani going to continue here.
Ramdani of the world winner windmill sort of action. Almost played that on. Oh, that's close. Has he effected a run out here? They're appealing for a run out. Yes, he's given it. And Jagisar has been run out here. And the keeper has to take the credit for that one, because that ball was an inch away from the stumps. He pulled it back on, and he has to go on his way. So Jagisar is run out for 39.
Very important breakthrough there, as we were just saying, that wicket of Jagisar, which was looking like the golden ticket at this point for La Fortune. And the keeper with some excellent work, making sure to get the ball in his gloves before hitting the stumps, as we see from that replay.
Now this is interesting, because that ball was heading back towards the stumps. Yeah, I think he's got him, because Jagisar was in midair at the time he did, and I think he's gotten him there. The umpire had to decide, did he have control of the ball? Was his hand on the ball? And look, that's how much he's put his body on the line here for his team, and has reaped the benefits by getting the dangerous Jagisar out.
Some really good work in the field there by the wicketkeeper. And we can see he's just grimacing in some pain. Those finger injuries can be very lethal, especially if he probably twisted it or...
Yeah, if they go on to win the match here, Ganesh, I don't think he's going to care too much.
Definitely not.
Yeah, and Ganesh, one of those wicket keepers to keep with the spectacles on.
Yes, and I'm not sure if the bowler, in fact, also collided with him as well, because as we saw in the replay, the bowler, in fact, had to jump over him at the last moment. But I think it's more so from grabbing the ball and probably hitting the stumps at some sort of an awkward angle.
Yeah, I think J. Hugh Gordon would have been proud of that fault by Ramdani as he got over the keeper there. Not sure if he could jump over a hurdle at the Hasey Crawford Stadium if presented with one, but certainly got over the keeper very well.
And the question here would be, do they have a backup keeper in their lineup, given the fact that he still seems to be seeking some treatment?
Yeah, it's, well, let's see what hand it is. It is the right hand. That's his throwing hand. And they're discussing whether he can continue here. And Mohammed, the captain, is in there. I think he's going to, yes, he's not going to continue. He's taking the pads off. In fact, he had started to take the pads off. Let's see if he will continue. Yes, I think he's going to continue. They've convinced him that you can carry on.
I think he was going to take it off. Then he just went and pulled back the strap and said, let's get on with it, guys. 6.5 overs left and a victory is pending. Why not just fight through the pain? You know, as we hear all those legendary stories about sportsmen who have played with injuries and fought it through to make sure that their teams won.
Well, there's a new batter at the crease here. Run out of the first ball of the over, and Jagisa run out for 39. And with that, is that the last hope here for Rochard Road to win this match? Well, the man out there, he's going to say, no, I can still wield the bat here. That is James Duncan, I believe, has gone out there to do battle for his team. Duncan, yeah, it is Duncan, as umpire Gayatri Sitahal helping us out here. Duncan, he's coming right arm over to you. That's the benefit of the stump mic. We occasionally pick up comments that we're not supposed to air, or that at least should not be aired, but that happens sometimes. We just have to apologize and move on. In the heat of the moment, things are said out there.
Yeah, sport, we know, is a very passionate entity, and once these players are out there in a final, nonetheless, they would have a lot of emotions running high.
Here's Ramdani to continue. And, well, Duncan just flashing at that one, nothing on it really. And Duncan has a big job on his hands here, because he has to somehow fill the role, the void left here by Jagisa, who was brilliant in his 39 of 30 deliveries.
Duncan, a member of the defense force, he would want to show more force than defense in his innings.
And he's mixed defense with attack here, and they picked up one. Not the kind of ball that the keeper would want to be taking at this point, but he did manage to stop from getting past him. So 13 and a half overs gone, 91 for 6, 47 of 39 balls. This is getting more and more difficult for Rochard Road, and their spectators know that their team is in some trouble here. Bihari 6 off 11, Duncan 1 off 1. Where do they go from here now, Rochard Road? Easy single. They have to get their mentality right here. They have to believe that they can continue. They can get the win here in this match.
I think the mindset and willpower is certainly very important, because they have to, as you say, believe. And you know, belief is a major part of it, also with the physical talent on display.
Yeah, if there's no belief, then you can have all the physical talent in the world out there. You're not going to win the game. You have to believe that you can still win this. They started off requiring 6.9 and over. The run rate has not gone. It's not astronomical. It's 7.27. They still can get in there and win this. Straight into the ground. That's a spectator's catch, and the spectators erupting with applause, but it was not a catch.
Even the DJ, I think, seems to believe it was a catch with the music coming in celebration.
Well, they're all wondering why he's still standing out there, but clearly into the ground. Now he's going to get one. He might get four here, because that's herring away down to the ropes for a boundary. That's an exquisite shot there by Duncan, just guiding it down to third man, and picks up four. That's the end of the over at the end of 14, 96 for 6.
Really nice use in terms of opening the face of the bat there, Duncan. We see just at that last moment, That ball angling into the off stump and just opening the face, slicing into that empty area of the field and picking up a well-earned boundary.
So as Duncan and company continue to battle here, congratulations are in order for 3 Trinidad and Tobago players, namely Yannick Karaya, Akil Hussein and Nicholas Buran. All 3 have been named in the West Indies team for the ICC Cricket World Cup qualifiers in Zimbabwe. Of that trio, Yannick Karaya will be with the team that's playing those 3 one-day internationals against the United Arab Emirates next month. So Karaya will get the chance to play there. Plus, Puran and Hussein, who are involved in the IPL now, they will have the chance to come back home to the Caribbean, take a brief rest, as you would need after the IPL. I mean, it's a lot of work to carry all that money back home. I just know, by the way. And then they go back to the Caribbean. They go back, flying halfway across the world again to join the team in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, I'm sure they would appreciate that much-deserved break.
Yeah, and I mean, I only jest about the money. These guys work very hard, and I mean, an injury, when you think of what Puran went through with that injury to his knee, that could have been the end of his career. He played through it and has come back brilliantly.
Shows us anything is possible once you put your mind to it. As we can see in this final here, anything is still possible for either team to score the winning runs or to get the remaining wickets. How will this do?
As straight to third man, they decide not to go for the single. At this point in the game, you feel that the batsmen really have to go for the runs here. Grimes was caught hanging back on his bat there. I think he should have been herring down at the other end.
And Grimes coming into the attack. Bowling change at this stage with his right-hand medium.
High up into the air, there's a fielder coming around. He's not going to get there. Well short of Mohammed coming in. That's Jamal Mohammed coming in, but I don't think anybody was expecting him to catch that.
Yeah, it's one of those when it goes up in the air but lands safely and nothing can really happen in the field except the batsman getting an easy single.
Peter Grimes continues here and just wants a change in the field. He's asking the fielder at that to go across to mid-wicket for the right-handed Duncan a few times in local cricket. And the encouragement still coming from behind here as Ganesh seems to have recovered from that injury to his hand in effecting that run out of Jagesa.
And we're hearing a lot of shouts from the crowd as well, saying, "You can do it, guys. Come on, you can do it," encouraging their teams.
Yeah, a few shots of pessimism coming in from the road players.
Yes,
let's just put it that way.
Sometimes it's the reverse psychology, isn't it?
That's heading out towards the gap. There's a fielder coming across. Will he get there? Yes, he does. It slows down. And the 2 batters have crossed for 2. So 2 more to the total, and that should be the 100 up here for Rochard Road in the 15th over. With 1 ball remaining, the 100 is up. The 100 came up in the 13th over, actually the 14th over for La Fortune.
So still just keeping that 1 over difference, and then again the wickets column.
Full toss, that could be out. Yes, that's gone. LBW. Grimes, the sand shoe crusher, has taken another wicket, and Bihari's gone for 9.
Crucial breakthrough again there from Grimes, coming in at a very important time in this game. Bowling at this stage of the innings, your first over is never an easy task, and thus far, completing his over, getting a wicket on that last ball. 1 wicket for 4 runs, and what an excellent delivery that was. Yorker length, angling into the batsman and hitting him plumb on the stumps there. Bihari has to go. 9 scored from 16, and he walks with his head held low, as I'm sure he would not be pleased by having to come out at this stage, knowing fully well that just 1 or 2 batters remain, given the fact that they are 1 batter short, Rochard Road United.
Yeah, just 2 batters in the hutch here for Rochard Road United. After 15 overs, La Fortune were 100. Wonder now, with that batsman missing, is that going to be the telling point here? Because it could change the psychology of the batters already in there. Also, we have to point out that the last pair of batters out there for the La Fortune team, they were able to pick up 20 runs in that partnership. That certainly could prove to be crucial.
Of course, and these batters here are in a different stage of the innings where if you're batting first, you can push for those singles, you can definitely try to get those runs without having to worry too much about being bowled all out. At this stage, with Rochard Road 7 wickets down, they will have to look for those runs, but also not want to give away their wickets. So that bit of double play in their minds can prove to be a very determinant factor in how this game is played out. Duncan has shown that he is capable with the bat, having played some exquisite shots thus far. So it's really up to him, I believe, to see if he can bring this team home.
So one of the number 7s is out there. I believe this is Silal. They had mentioned to us before the match that the shorter of the 2 number 7s is Silal. So I'm not sure if we can send you out there with a measuring tape for these two, but I think that is in fact Silal. We'll confirm that for you in a minute. Dave Mohammed, that is, the seamer, not the Dave Mohammed who played for the West Indies. He has not come in just yet. That's hit well. There's a man coming across. Will he take the catch? Oh, yes, he does. And that is it down. And Rochard Road has lost another one. Last wicket now in for them. And Jamal Mohammed has taken the catch. And that is Rochard Road. Was that the second to last nail in the coffin?
Celebrations all around here. Jamal Mohammed, brother of the skipper, picking up that catch. A well-deserved wicket here as well for Ramdani, who bowled very good after his initial few deliveries were wide, and that's when we see Jamal taking a very comfortable catch, and Duncan has to go. So Duncan, who we thought would have been probably the last hope for Rochard Road United, has to depart with that catch on the boundary. And really at this point video, it seems as if it's an extremely uphill battle for them, with Dave now coming in.
That's Mohammed. Mohammed is the last man in. And just to remind you why that is, one of the Rochard Road players could not make the match today, and as a result, they had to bring in a substitute fielder, a Makan. He took 2 good catches, but they've been left a little bit short here. And the backup for La Fortune has been great in the field. The only blemish has been the number of extras.
Yeah, and imagine without those extras what the total would have been. Because I think, in fact, at least 15 to 20 extras, considering that a couple of them went for 5 wides, you know, the total would have been totally different. And the pressure on these batsmen would have been significantly increased.
So Mohammed is at the crease now, and how can he help his team here? And they're looking to cut off the single. That's what the signal is from the bowler. There is a deep mid-wicket in place. What can Ramdani do? Can he get this last man and win the title for his team? Defensive shot, and they're not going to go for the single. And all of a sudden, La Fortune, there's a real pep in their step as they're firing in to get everything. They feel that they are just seconds away from the title.
Yeah, you can certainly see the bounce in their step. And I mean, all of the players are clapping, they're cheering on the bowler, they're encouraging each other. Everyone seems to be waiting patiently for this victory.
Well, there are 20,000 reasons for them to be happy at this point, and that was almost a victory there, as just shaving past the stump there. Wow.
Good backing up in the field as well,
yes,
by number 29. Otherwise, that could have run away to the boundary. Backing up by Ramki soon.
Well, if the very close. If the stumps woke up with any stubble on his face this morning, it's all gone now. Ramdani, 4 balls remaining in the over. Can he close it out here? Can he seal the deal for La Fortune? Edged, and that's going to run away for 1. That's not going to hurt them at this point. 36 runs needed from 27 balls.
That run rate reaching to 8 for the first time in this innings, the required run rate. And I mean, they did a good job to keep it just on or around 7 and under 7 for majority. But losing 2 to 3 wickets within the last few overs have certainly been to their detriment.
The last 3 wickets have gone down for 10 runs, and a defensive shot here off the bat of Mohammed, the last man in for Rochard Road. They're on the ropes here, Rochard Road. Can they come out fighting, or will the knockout punch be delivered with the next ball? Out far away, says Ganesh. And Ramdani with that windmill action here. His over has come to an end. And at the end of it, after 16 overs, Rochard Road are 102 for 8. That was a damaging over because 2 runs coming off that and a wicket going down.
Ramdani has really come back excellent in terms of how he started with those couple of deliveries. He couldn't seem to get anything on the pitch. At least 3 or 4 wides were consecutive, and then as soon as he gained that line and length, he persisted, he maintained it, and it has done him well in getting key wickets.
And as you mentioned earlier, as we are coming close to the end here, congratulations are in order for Andre Kohli and Darren Sammy, named today as the new West Indies head coaches. Kohli, the coach of the Test and A team, and Darren Sammy appointed head coach of the West Indies ODI and T20 international teams. The Tacit Drums away to our right have awoken. And well, it's going to be, let's see, this is back on the attack here is Grimes. Took a wicket in his last over. To paraphrase, with apologies to Ernest Hemingway, to paraphrase one of his lines in his famous books, don't ask for who the Tacit Drums roll. They may be rolling for you. 102 for 8 as we start off the 17th over here. The required rate now climbing well above 9. Cut away. Oh, what a catch! And what a way to end off this match. A spectacular catch by Ram Logan, who takes it and wins the title for the Fortune. What a way to end off the match. And that is Ram Logan perhaps sealing the Man of the Match award. 3 wickets and 1 of the great catches. That was heading towards his right hand. Very much left-handed, and he held on to it. Victory here for La Fortune, and Rochard Road's brave fight has come to an end.
My word, Vidya, as we see that replay there, he literally left in the air like Superman and took a wonderful catch, low down to his right. Ram Logan, he's still on the ground here to the right of the screen as he just seems to be beleaguered after that effort. But what a way to bring in that victory, as we note again, Rochard Road without the use of their final batsman. 102 for 9 is the end of their innings. So excellent effort by La Fortune in the field, and what a way to finish it off, Vidya.
Yeah, that was brilliant by Ram Logan. He has been he's been the man with the Midas touch, and look at them. This is what it means to the community of La Fortune. If you came to watch this broadcast today and you never knew where La Fortune was, well, you know where it is now, and you know that they produce some fine cricketers, and these group of young men have brought the title to their team. They have won the Southern Sports Premier League final here, defeating Rochard Road in this final by 35 runs. Congratulations to them, and a victory for them. The presentation is coming. This is the first title here for the La Fortune team. La Fortune favors the brave, some might say. They are the champions, and there is confirmation of it. And really have to pay credit here to Rochard Road. They did well to keep La Fortune down to 137, but they couldn't do the job with the bat.
Yeah, really and truly La Fortune, after setting that total, we thought it might have been just 10 runs short of a good score to defend, but they have shown their bowling prowess. We know that from their previous scores in the tournament thus far. They have restricted many teams to under 100, in fact, and I mean, nothing has stopped them in this effort. Despite giving away runs in the field, despite dropping a couple catches, they still have won the game by a very comfortable margin in the end, as we see some of the players just signal into the stands. They are celebrating with their family members, and I'm sure they will be having a very long celebration into the night here.
Well, the gentleman in the blue, that's the one we were talking about, shouting out all sorts of advice, optimistic, pessimistic, in between. In fact, it's completely full because they've won the match.
His cup runneth over, as they might say.
Definitely. And he might have some ideas on how to empty that cup in a minute. And certainly we're getting ready for the presentation party, but the news is that La Fortune are the champions. We'll let you drink in some of the scenes here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. We'll be back to talk you through the presentation. So there we are. La Fortune are champions of the Southern Sports Premier League. They've beaten Rochard Road in the finals by 35 runs. Congratulations to them. And Keshav, just a final word here on Rochard Road, who have finished as runners-up.
Well, Rochard Road, after the first innings, I think they would have been happy going in, knowing that they restricted La Fortune to under 140. But unfortunately, I think that one key batsman missing in their lineup was the downfall, because if they had their premier batter and he was here and able to come into the innings, he certainly could have changed the scope of this game. But La Fortune, they were very confident from the start. They know that their bowling capabilities were enough to restrict any team, and they have certainly showed it in this final here. You know, excellent effort all around by the La Fortune team. Like I say, despite a couple blemishes with the extras, with the misfields and whatnot, they still held their heads high, and they took some chances that were really excellent in terms of how they executed it. So, I mean, kudos to La Fortune and condolences to Rochard Road.
Yeah, and considering that Rochard Road would have chased down 174 to win here in 17 overs in the semi-final, they would have certainly backed themselves to win this one. So take nothing away from the bowling of La Fortune. Javed Mohammed picking up 3 wickets, also 3 wickets for Ram Logan, and then that spectacular catch at the end to get the victory. Certainly the bowlers coming to the fore here for La Fortune.
Yes, indeed. And La Fortune, I mean, with the strike bowler there in Ram Logan and taking that fitting catch to end the game. What a spectacular effort it was, you know, almost an IPL field it in terms of the way he went, and the crowd erupted and everyone just ran onto the field. I mean, really great effort by La Fortune all around.
Yeah, so this has brought us to the end of our broadcast for tonight. Thanks very much to Keshav and for all of the guys here at Cricket 360, and also congratulations to Southern Sports Premier League. They have brought us another fine final here. So it's ended. La Fortune have beaten Rochard Road by 35 runs to go on to win this final, and they have claimed the $20,000 first prize. Thank you so much for joining us to this broadcast on Cricket 360. On behalf of Keshav, I'm Vidya Ramphal. Bye for now.